to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
And happiness, well worth fighting for. Hello there. Welcome to the Flesh and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan, running just as fast as we can, holding on to each other's hands. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. We should have 4 this evening. He's sorting himself out. But in the meantime, down there is the Brian.
Hello. How are you? Yes, still American.
I was going to ask what was happening with that strange vocal noise you're making, but yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That would be happy.
I'm not used to this. What madness
Neither
is
am I.
this?
It's something quite new.
And over there, that's Lilibet, the Wonder Girl. Hello. We will have a Spanky at some stage, hopefully. He's sorting his sound out. And probably doing an awful lot of swearing, I imagine. Yeah. You call it cussing,
He's in
don't
some
you?
form of e-space right now.
Yeah, you call it cussing, don't you? Swearing.
No, we don't. We call it swearing.
Well, yeah, cussing's sort of the more slang.
It's more of a southern term for...
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I can hardly complain. You go a couple of hours in here, and the local accents change twice. So
Are you kidding?
anyway,
You go two hours from here, soda becomes pop.
That's
Yeah.
Canada, though.
No, that's
Oh.
Western New York.
Oh, oh, right. Well,
They're
there's
wrong, but that's fine.
There's none so queer as folk. Wow. How's your week been, Brian?
Not bad. A little busy, but not bad.
How's the RPG
Diablo
last
4
night?
beta.
Well, I was going to say how's the RPG last night, but tell us about
The
Diablo
RPG
4.
last night was extraordinarily good. Long, very long, but extraordinary good. We had some fun. Some things got smashed. Some demons got burnt. Some necromancers fried. Hey, these things happen. Some people almost get sucked into a rift into another dimension.
I got 3 new fingers for my necklace.
No, you didn't.
They won't let me take the fingers of my enemies from my necklace.
Because it's fucking creepy.
I'm a dragon! I'm supposed
You're
to do
3.
creepy. Exactly!
You're a
I'm
teenage
teething!
dragon.
I'm teething! I've got to have something to chew on.
No.
For
Creepy.
some reason it grosses them out, and for the life of me I can't work out why.
Yes, you can, but
yes,
you're
you
just
can.
delighting in the fact that it is grossing them out.
No, genuinely, it's the sort of thing that normally happens in RPGs I'm in. People collect toes or noses or... And so
Creepy.
you'd have hated Richard's Klingon ship. The noses of every one of his enemies was stuck to the walls.
It just sounds like somebody who needs something better to do.
Yeah, it was Friday night. There was no alcohol involved, but pizza or kebabs. It was anyway. So apart from that, Diablo 4.
Yeah, Diablo 4. Second beta weekend. It was awesome. Finally got to play a druid. Made my werewolf. Made the alpha of the alphas. It was nice.
Yep. And how long are you having him for?
Midnight tonight.
So be grateful, boys and girls, that we actually have Brian this evening. Your self-control.
I've already hit max level on him, so I'm all good with that.
All right. It's just your self-control is impressive.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or I start crying because I got this really cool ring
Oh yes.
that druids in this game, if you don't know, they get companion pets. One of the companions is a wolf. Well, several wolves. You make a little pack of wolves. I got this ring that turns my wolves into werewolves. So I'm running around with a small pack of werewolves and my giant werewolf. Yeah, it's...
Other players are
a werewolf
shooting at him
pack.
because they think he's a pack of bad guys.
because werewolves are a villain in this game. Yeah. Nothing is standing in front of me with these guys.
Oh man.
I maxed that skill out. I maxed out their damage. I'm like, go for it.
Annoyingly, they've reduced the group size to 4, which is a bit of a pain.
They did
in the arse.
reduce the group size to 4. However, with my small pack of werewolves and our necromancer, we have an additional 13 players on our side.
So the reason I'm annoyed about it is because there isn't a gap for me when I finally get round to paying for the game. Can't afford it. 60. I can't
It's
justify the
expensive.
amount. It's just too much. The
I paid
Dragonflight thing was
100
cheap.
for the upgraded thing.
Oh,
I
my
didn't go
goodness
all in on
me.
the ultimate package. I'm in the mid tier, and that was 100.
Goodness
Wow.
me. Well, like I say, I did the same with Dragonflight. And it was on sale, and I thought, oh, fuck it, do it. And I had it installed and everything else like that. And it just wouldn't activate. I couldn't for the life of me work out why. It was because it was too cheap, and it didn't come with a month's free subscription, so I'd now got to subscribe. Which is really
Well, the
annoying.
main thing the main problem we had was the queue.
Yes.
Because if you've
yes.
ever played a Blizzard game, you can't live without that first boss, the queue.
Mm.
That was it. But fortunately, we're old, so we start in the off hours of early, like 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Everybody else is asleep. We're just in there fighting away because we're old. Then there's apparently this bug where you can't join a group. You have to restart your entire computer, and then you have to enter the queue yet again. But when you're done with that queue, you enter another queue in order to get queued for the game. And eventually, after like three different queues, you can get in and play.
Are we sure this wasn't designed by a Brit? Seems to be something.
It errors out, and then it throws you back into the queue from the start.
Oh, never mind. It's designed by Dostoevsky.
Yeah. This is Blizzard at its most what the fuckish.
Well, it's a beta, so... hello, Retta. Hello, Trixie. Right, a little bit, how's your game been? No, not your game, your week. There are differences.
Well, I mean, I've played Sims for like 5 minutes this week, which was kind of fun, because that's my level of gaming.
You need to watch the Spiffing Brit on YouTube. He does stuff with the Sims that shouldn't be allowed.
There are a few Simmers that I do actually watch on YouTube, but my actual time to play is almost 0. But yeah, a really busy week, really busy. And so yesterday I just kind of collapsed in a heap. But
Allowed.
yeah, I'm back to tutoring, and we had a 3.5-hour tutoring session, largely on algebra and geometry, Thursday night.
Algebra I like, geometry I hate.
Yeah, fun with triangles.
I used to love, what was it? Oh God, quadratic equations. I used to love those.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don't know. I was a kid. Don't ask me.
And so everything just kind of piled up. So it was a really busy week. Next week, I'm taking Friday off of work, and my friend from work and I are sort of playing hooky, and going to MegaCon
Nice.
Friday and Saturday.
Ooh.
Now remember, you have to be cool, because if you see any kids you know there, you
Yeah,
gotta be cool.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Not
Don't
why-
be a
I
narc.
didn't
Why
see
aren't you in
didn't
class?
See me.
Yeah.
We're
Uh-huh.
not here.
Don't be a narc. It's okay.
And the other fun thing is I've never been to a big convention like this, so this will be a new experience for me.
This is a day trip for you?
Yeah, we're within an hour of Orlando, so we're
Okay.
gonna drive in on Friday morning, go back to her house, and then I'll leave my car there at her house because she's about a halfway point, and then I'll drive home and we'll repeat it Saturday morning.
I take
So
it.
we're not
all
staying over.
I was going to offer my con advice. Find some place with a dollar menu nearby and make that place your home. Because you're going to spend all the money in the dealer's room
I've
anyway.
always said these things are monuments to greed.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
afraid.
bring an empty backpack or something.
Oh, that's good. That's good thinking. Yeah.
Because you're going to
Yeah.
fill that sucker up.
I used to go to those sort of ones, but now I just do the little proper Doctor Who conventions. You know,
And this
rather
one
than
is
s-
one
buy me,
only
buy
has
me, buy
some
me.
Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It has a little bit of Doctor Who and a little bit of Star Trek, and then a whole lot of things I've never heard of.
Brian
Like
probably
anime
would have
and
done.
stuff. And nice.
But it'll be really interesting. It'll be a good experience and something
Yeah.
I've never done before.
Yeah, quite right too. Enjoy it. Quite
Definitely
frankly.
bring that empty bag, though.
Yeah, set yourself a
That's
budget
good
as well. Set
Oh,
yourself a
yes.
budget.
Yeah, and I'm not
Allow
really
yourself something, but
I'm
you
not
know.
really a signatures
no, same here.
stuff person. Like
prefer to
I
insult
just
them.
Hit up the dealer room, though. Go in and take a look. Those things
yeah,
are.
and I think it'll be cool,
Scary.
and they'll probably be. I'm a more like canvas tote bag kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Books, maybe that kind of stuff. Cool art, maybe. I'm not really a signed poster or toys kind of, because what am I going to do with them?
Retta has just actually made a very good point in chat. Do wait in line for 5 hours, though.
Wait in line for 5 hours.
For
To get in.
either to get
Oh.
in or to, if you were
When I
going
went
to
to
go
San
autograph
Diego
hunting,
Comic
to do
Con,
that.
it was me and my son. We were in line for 3 to 5 hours with
Get into the
50,000 of our.
dealer's room. 5
Yeah.
hours to get into the
Yeah.
dealer's room.
Yeah, no, that's pretty standard when it just first
Wow.
opens. But no, just to get into San Diego Comic Con,
Dear
it was
God.
me and my son and 50,000 of our closest personal friends standing in line to get in on preview night.
So this is
Yeah.
why I used to like having press. Dave and I used to get press for
Yeah.
the Earl's Court stuff, and I remember they got a lot of complaints with the organisation of it, but there was queues down the street and round the whole of Earl's Court and whatever on probably one of the hottest days of the year, and of course you got people
Yeah.
in cosplay and everything else like that, and of course we just walked straight to the front of the queue and went in.
I bet the amount of hate directed at you at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I say find a dollar menu place and live there.
We did find
one
a
of the
nice little cafe.
Otakons Retta and I went to. We had a McDonald's close to the hotel. Now, when I'm not going to exaggerate when I say they're large, was at least 128 ounces. Okay,
Yep.
this was a vat of soda
Oh,
and a large French fry that could feed a family of 4.
Yep.
It was amazing because we were broke, but yep, Crystal City in DC. I was a fixture in the Evangelion room that time, and by the end of the con, something I'm pretty sure it was my brains was trickling out my ear as I was sitting there going. For I had watched Neon Genesis Evangelion all weekend long. Every episode. This is one of those shows you're not supposed to do that with.
okay.
It messes. Yeah. And then to see our friends at the rave the night Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Saturday night.
Rave?
They have a rave. They have an anime rave for all the anime geeks there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. It's exactly as
Awful as it
As it
sounds.
yeah.
Oh, I got so old.
Great.
Dear. Give me a nice 80s disco. That'll do me.
Oh, see, I've
this
never
is-
been a dancing club sort of person.
Oh, I'm not. Well, I can't really dance anymore. I have to wobble a little bit and then sit down again. But I wasn't a huge dancer. But I would love to go to like an 80s disco again, a proper one. That they, people hold events, 80s disco event sort of thing. That would be nice. I've even got the.
I don't know if
I
I could deal with that much cocaine. Not at my age.
That's not my thing.
I didn't even go out dancing when I was in college because it was people I don't know past my bedtime with loud music in a place that I really didn't have, like, I couldn't have driven back. No, thank you. No, thank you. You go have a good time. Tell me about it later.
Right then, we're doing well. We're doing well without Spanky. I wish he'd come
We
back.
are.
He hasn't sent any messages, has he? On text?
Nope, I
He
haven't
hasn't?
seen any.
Okay.
He's still working furiously on
I'm
his
sure he
technical
is
problem.
furious being the
I
obvious
am aware
answer.
of a growing cloud of profanity over his area of the country.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see when that finally crescendos.
Okay. I'll do it a little bit. You don't have to. If it's already growing, it's crescendoing. It's a tautology. Just saying, everyone gets that wrong. Finally, it grew to a crescendo. No! No, it didn't! It's either a crescendo or nothing.
Okay.
I'm just saying that for Dr. Sinister's sake. He's not here. So.
Okay.
Ha! Our childhood punishments are now our adult goals. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
going
fair.
to bed early, being sent to your room.
Yeah.
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 You can't go out tonight. You have to stay in. Oh, no. Oh, my God,
Dreadful
this year.
thing.
What will I ever do?
No, the best thing is when you've agreed to make plans with somebody, and then the day comes and you're like, I do want to see them, but I don't really want to put on shoes or leave the house. And then they call and say, hey, something came up. We're going to have to reschedule. And you're like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
And you look at your pants and say, not today.
Don't have to wear outside clothes.
Science news.
Science?
Science. We've got science. Right. I've joined the internet. Sorry, it's doing something strange here. I've joined the Bard program, the Google Bard thing, which is an AI that it's developing, and it tries to find things from everywhere and interact with you in a human fashion.
Okay.
It's not quite there yet.
Was that the thing you posted earlier?
Yeah, I'm going to read it out.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so I asked it, how will tonight's show go? It is difficult to say for sure how well tonight's show will do, as there are many factors that can affect its success. However, based on the previous Flashing Blade shows and the current host lineup, I believe that this show has a good chance of being successful. The previous Flashing Blade shows were well received by audiences, and the current host lineup is experienced and talented. The show is also being broadcast on a popular channel. I can't read that with a straight face, which will help to attract viewers. However, there are also some risks that could affect the show's success. For example, if the show is not well received by audiences, sounds about right, or if the hosts do not have chemistry, no, we're right there, the show could be cancelled. Never. I am the Flashing Blade. Overall, I believe that tonight's show has a good chance of being successful. However, it is important to note that there are always risks involved in any new show.
New.
Now I know these things are full of bullshit.
There's no voice recognition software at the moment involved in it. You've got to type in what you want to say. It's not bad, but it's
It's bad.
It's bad.
yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
bad. At least you
It's
didn't
like a
ask
sixth
that
grader
chat
arguing in circles because they haven't read the book.
That's it. It is a good one, I've got to admit. So that's technology and science. Recommendation for YouTube. Go and look for Josh Snare's channel and look at the short film Might of the Daleks. It's very well done. I like it. I like it a lot. It is short, but yes. What else? Let me just think for a moment. There was other stuff as well. Diablo 4. I've forgotten something. I can't remember what it was, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
It'll come back to you.
It'll come back to me afterwards. Right, so no Spanky still.
Any sagas or anything going on, or
Only the saga of trying to stay alive with this cost of living increased business. Don't get me started on that.
apparently Johnny Depp is settled in England,
What, settled as in court or as in living?
living.
Oh, right, okay. Could have meant either, to be fair. Meh. Right then, here we go, hopefully. Okay, and now, from the Worlds with what? Worlds of Doctor Who. Here's Doctor Who. The Time Lords are terrified. Oh, sorry, Brian, yes?
I just noticed a news feature that we missed.
Oh, please, yes!
There is a lineup of 5 planets that will be decorating the night sky.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The last time 5 planets lined up, didn't they make Highlander the source?
Something
So
like
I'm
that.
a little leery on this whole deal.
Seriously,
But,
we don't need that sort of thing right now.
If I turn out to be immortal tomorrow, y'all know what's going on.
How do you know you're immortal just by one day? Are you going to test the fact? And can we watch?
As that goes against Twitch
Gonna work.
policy, I'm
Okay.
going to decline. Oh my God, it's a Spanky.
Hang on a second.
See if we can get video to work here in 1 second. Sorry. Second.
I'm engrossed now.
Yeah, no. Sorry, boys and
This-
girls. We'll
this
do your
is-
own show for the moment.
Yeah, we're just
I'm trying to screw you guys up. Sorry about that.
This is even better than watching the robotic cat device clean the litter.
It's not just that. I mean,
Nice.
it's more exciting than watching paint dry. Let's face it.
What are y'all watching other than me?
Just
We're
you.
watching you.
Just you.
Yep.
Just you.
Is that the thing? And then it? Turn it on. I'm
Yay!
Yay!
Oh my God.
Right then, ladies and
Sorry about that,
gentlemen,
like,
um,
no, it's been a
introducing
very trying day, so yeah.
introducing the man who's not allowed to add in accordance with the prophecy
More
at the
drug.
end of any answers he gives. And he's not allowed to add pictures of the rest of us, basically to war criminal posters. It's
I am the only man.
I have enough of those
authorized to
already.
release the Kraken.
yeah.
Of course, the Kraken is also authorized to release the Spanky. That's when the Kraken wants to release the Kraken. He says, "Release the Spanky." That's what happens.
it's basically God's Hulk.
Yeah,
The
something
one
like
below
that.
all.
The
deep Marvel
Clue
cut.
instead of Hulk. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, welcome, Spanky. How's your week been?
Very trying.
Oh, I'm sorry. You sound a lot better than you did last night. Your voice sounds better.
Yes, last night was especially hectic. And today was really hectic, but at least I managed to. I thought, honestly, I don't know why. I thought it was another hour or something before when I came in a while ago. Like I thought we had 40 more minutes or something, but I guess I was off.
It's all right. Our timing is all over the place on this show.
Yeah, I figure out.
I mean,
Because I
our,
asked, like during last week's show when I set the alarm and everything, I got this. Yeah, and then I thought, you know what? I'll just check it an hour early to make sure. And here y'all were sitting in there. I'm like, son of a bitch, huh?
no, we,
I just show up. I don't have
I
to
hate
watch
this
them.
time of year because running. I mean, we've got 2 shows going. Well, 3, but only 2 of them are cross Atlantic. And so for the RPG, we've been going on American time, but for the Flashing Blade, we've been going on British time. And our clocks
Yep,
have
yep.
only just gone forward last night. So that's caused a little bit of a furore, because I
little,
hate
little
it.
stressed.
Yeah, I hate it.
A little bit of stress.
It really
little bit
annoys
of-
us. Listen, why can't they just stick to Greenwich Mean Time over here and that's it?
Why? Well, no, because you're the home of time.
Exactly.
The rest home of time, actually.
The
yeah.
rest home of time. You're not denying that, I see. Okay.
I'm gonna retire over there just so I can be in there too, because I'm tired of playing with the clocks. Things, fuck it, this is 0, right? Okay, I'm gonna sit here and never move again, not touching the clock. That's it. Like,
He's
just
missed
for
the
that
point
reason
that our
alone.
clocks go forward and backward as well. That's why I'm moaning about
I
it.
know, but I would resist. I would fight
Oh,
it tooth and claw.
I approve. There's got to be
Yeah.
a society. There's got to be a
Or
Village
something.
Green
No,
society
they
about this.
Don't participate in this nonsense.
Yeah,
Who
Hawaii
states?
doesn't. I so miss living in Hawaii. We never
They just
touched
say
the
no.
clock. It was
You
glorious.
all
Yeah.
figured out we're not doing it.
Feel
say
sorry
no,
you're not
right?
in Lebanon. In Lebanon, they're
Oh.
currently operating under 2 time zones. One set by the Christian church, one set by the Muslim
Oh, yeah.
church.
Didn't
And
the Israelis used to do something like that too?
they've just disagreed over this
Yeah.
for years, and there was a Muslim-Christian war at one point in Lebanon.
Yeah, there's the whole calendar situation going on too.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the people in Lebanon because basically everyone that's supposed to look out for them is shit. Oh.
I have no time for religious wars. They can jolly well
All right,
sort,
you guys all
sort
froze,
themselves
or
out.
I
The
did.
good
Behave.
thing about
I'm gonna
the
go
good thing
with
about
it's me.
the good thing about the Church of the Dude is we can't be bothered.
And see if anything happens to
I've just never seen
Sorry,
the point.
Spanky's
Countries.
doing
Japan,
talking again.
India, and China are the only major industrialized countries that do not observe some form of daylight savings.
this.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Looks like I'm on.
Actually, that is good to know because
Anybody?
Japan
Bueller?
has an incredible amount of boomers right now.
no.
And they're all
Okay.
old and dying.
Spanky.
And the younger workforce is not picking up the steam. So there's going to be a gap pretty soon. I'm feeling the money change.
Did I just freeze up there for a little bit, or did all of you
You
guys
did.
cut out? Just,
No. Thing is, we could still hear you talking over the top of us, which was
I
fun.
was sorry. I didn't know. I thought I was totally cut off. My bad. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna need to start a fund to get Spanky proper internet. I think.
Proper internet. I just need to be 30 feet closer that way. I actually have a booster, but my mom saw what she perceived were to be spots upon it and took immediately a sopping wet dish rag and started sponging the shit out of it while it was plugged into the wall. I barely caught that. That was yesterday. That was one of my adventures, yeah.
Wasn't
So I
she-
went and got another one, and we've got it hooked up, and that's the third one, actually. So,
She was
you know.
jousting with one at one point, wasn't she?
She jousted with my monitor with a tool that we previously used to use. It's a magnet on the end of like a 4 or 5 foot length of broom handle, because you drop tools down in the hole. We do marine construction. It's, you know, you're using a pump, you flush down pilings and things. You drop a hammer, whatever. Magnet, pull the hammer up, and it's all good. And he was just like, he was sitting on the chair here, and she leaned on it and grabbed the on the stick and said, "What is this?" Bam, bam, bam on my monitor, and I was like, $260 some dollars down the drain, a brand new 1080p, like 42-inch. It's just like, it was the big new sexy. I forgot for the brand new laptop, and 40-inch. Yeah, it's like, just okay, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Good looking out.
This has just reminded me of something else I meant to say under the news section.
This is why my sisters won't come here and help.
The Series 9 box set is out. And jolly lovely it is too. I've just watched the omnibus edition of the Sea Devils in 5.1. And you know what the Sea Devils is like when it comes to noise. An interesting noise. My neighbours must be very worried about me.
I'm saying, okay, can
I
we
was
pause here for a
sacked.
second? Because anybody group, can we have a vote? How many times has Siobhan seen the Sea Devils in the last 365 days? I'm going to say upwards of 30. Anybody? Yeah.
The original Sea Devils, or the new Sea Devils, or another iteration of Sea Devils, or
What if we lump them all together? What number would that be? Anybody want to take a swing?
how many Silurians have you observed in the last 365 days?
3. I have observed 3. My dreams of
since the
content.
start of the
I've
year?
seen the Sea Devils, I reckon, in the last year 2, possibly 3 times, and I've read the novelization. So, yeah,
I think we may need an intervention here.
I think so.
Under-
And what I was saying about the 5.1
Oh,
thing is
E.T.
that
apparently hid one of his snacks on my desk.
I will get this out. The 5.1 is like living in a bubble of Malcolm Clark. It's, along with a bit of Brian Hodgson chucked in. It's a great job. It's an intense experience. Like I say, I worry about my neighbours because I was also watching stuff about Forbidden Planet, and that's got an interesting score as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very, very, very much enjoying this. We have a question for Two Fan Dinosaurs. Sorry there was no Two Fan Dinosaurs this Friday. We're starting Legopolis, or at least we're due to. But Sinister is working rather late and it just couldn't be done. So we'll start Legopolis next week. We have a question for the Season 18 Blu-ray competition. It's a question...
Did you just get really soft, Siobhan, or is something going wrong with my sound?
Am I really soft?
No.
Did
No,
you just
no.
get much softer? It must be my
It's
sound.
your
Okay, sorry.
sound.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, I don't want to do. Yeah, continue. Sorry for the interruption. I mean,
Shut up! Right. The question is set by Sheila Raskin, who played Cassia in The Keeper of Traken.
Ooh.
And it's been passed on to me by Stephen Noonan, who's provided the Blu-ray set as our prize.
the new boy, yay.
Yeah, I'll see the new boy next Saturday, hopefully.
Excellent.
So
Big warm floppy for us.
A big wet one.
don't feel well. And so yeah. Hopefully, if we manage to do Legopolis Parts 1 and 2 next week, we'll do the competition. Warning you now, it's a fucking difficult one. The question. It's very Stephen Noonan, if I'm honest with you.
What's
But
the question?
Oh, I don't really want to give it out until we actually do the competition on Two Fan Dinosaurs.
What is the word?
Marge.
The
spread
word.
Oh,
The
the
word.
word.
The word.
Good old Brian Croucher, never known to be subtle. Okay, knowingly subtle. There we go. Anyway, the Time Lords are afraid of getting their noses punched. A mutant from Solos has turned up on the planet and has been killed. Dear me. And quite frankly, it's pissing down with rain. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Brian of Morbius. Right, I'm probably going to need to sit this one out, apart from to make the odd observation about how things may connect with stuff, because I do not think much of the brain of Morbius at all. I know that's sacrilege. I'm obviously unworthy of the diamond logo, but it's really not for me. Sorry, Robin Bland. I met Robin Bland, had lunch with him. Lovely man. I did. But it's so repetitive. It has one saving grace, and that saving grace is Philip Madiger's Solon. But anyway, who would like to go about the brain of Morbius? Good, Brian. Brain of Morbius. This is a Hinchcliffe thing. You've wanted to do Hinchcliffe things.
I was trying
He was
to
volunteering or just gesturing wildly?
I can't tell with him.
All right, Brain of Morbius. What can I say about this?
We're doing well.
Well, no, it's the fact that most of the Doctor's villains seem to be when dealing with Time Lord villains, megalomaniac to the extreme.
Gallifrey has produced a lot of loonies.
Yeah, Omega.
Though you can understand Omega being a little bit upset,
A little bit, yeah.
to be fair.
Morbius?
Well, he wanted to rule High Council and led a war against them. And
Rassilon?
Rassilon was a fucking psycho.
The Master?
Ditto.
Yeah.
Isn't it like all the most
see
evil villains in the
a little
universe
theme
except for
going
the
on
Time
here.
Lord?
Consequence. Maybe that's one of those things that sort of like you when people deal with time, their brains really aren't equipped to deal with it. So sometimes you just have these people who lose their minds.
I like
Because
that
You've got to
idea.
be the brightest of the bright.
Yeah.
To even
It-
work
It
in.
also could be, higher education. There is a percentage that you will go insane.
Well, it's not just that. There's also a theory that basically the older a Time Lord gets, because of them constantly being reborn and having a different personality and whatever, that can cause a lot of stress on a Time Lord and cause them to flip if they're not careful. So, there we go.
I think it's all the projects that you have to rely on other classmates to do in order to complete
too,
your
right?
grade. And,
Okay.
there's always like 3 of them that drop out on a 4-man team. So you're left
I've
holding
seen
the bag.
Community as well.
Yeah. I just want at my funeral everybody that I had to do a project with to come so they could let me down one more time.
Oh, that's a nice one. I like that one.
So back to Morbius, other nutbag. I really do enjoy the whole battle he has with the Doctor.
But the mind-bending battle?
Yeah,
Okay, that's going to open
where
up
they
the door.
go through past incarnations, of which the Doctor's supposed to have 4. Where we know all the 4. Who the fuck were those guys?
Oh, Brian! Little bit knows what's coming. Oh, my poor dear.
Okay, they kind of rectified it in the most recent series. The Doctor having his mind erased, their mind erased. Can't be gender specific about the being anymore.
They are known as the Morbius Doctors.
They are the Morbius Doctors,
until-
however.
Until the finale of Jodie Whittaker's second season. And I can't remember. Is it called The Timeless Child? I don't know.
Yes,
Can't remember.
Timeless
Something like
Child.
that, yeah.
When they, in a montage of the Doctor, memories of the Doctor, we get the Morbius Doctors, as well as obviously the fugitive Doctor. And so, the Morbius Doctors are confirmed canon. The original intention of the production team back in the 70s when they were making this was that these were going to be pre-Hartnell Doctors. That was their intention. They got lots of members of the production staff to dress up in finery, and so they could have photos of all these people. There's some very well-known production members there. But that was
Which apparently
the
got
intent.
them in trouble because they weren't actors.
Yes. It was... for
Bob the
years and
Gaffer
years and
dresses
years.
up as the Doctor. I like it.
For years and years, it was a huge controversy, and Chibnall just put it to bed simply like that. And,
Excellent. Beautiful. That takes care of all my problems with it.
fair enough. Good.
I think one of the things, obviously this is a Frankenstein pastiche.
Yes.
And
Very
I think
much.
one of the things that they do get right is that Morbius is touted as this big, amazing surgeon, and he's amazing and he's wonderful. And yet what he makes isn't very good.
So long.
Oh, Solon, that's right. Morbius is the Time Lord guy.
It's the
Solon's
chop
the
suey.
surgeon.
Yep.
Yeah. It just isn't very good.
It's bits and pieces. He's tried to find the best bits to build the best body, but it doesn't.
Isn't he a
appearance
Time Lord as
isn't
well?
a matter. Well, Solon,
Is-
no.
Okay, he has access to Time Lord technology
He
via
does.
Morbius.
Yes and no. In that look where he ended up.
Yeah, okay. He's in
And
Frankenstein's
this,
castle
yeah,
on the moon.
no, on
Next
Khan.
to-
Some
Yeah.
On Khan, and
jacked up
boy,
planet.
this story actually does have a little bit of heavy lifting, because aside from providing a line,
I was just going to say, why couldn't he grow it?
Oh,
the
Mike,
equipment, I'm
one,
assuming.
one. I mean,
Because
come on.
the, I
Yeah,
mean,
his
plus he
brain
had a,
feature right
he
there,
had a,
right?
he had a source
Because
of.
none of the sisters were gonna do anything with him.
He also had a source of.
Oh, yeah,
fresh,
those sisters were not
He wasn't
having
on the
anything.
planet.
Yeah.
No,
They were
yeah.
like, this guy needs to get off our planet now.
Yeah.
But
now.
the thing is, he had a fresh supply of bodies, which he could pick and choose the finest bits from.
Yeah,
You know, I
it's-
have the lungs of a
Low-quality
Virasrub.
bodies, though.
Now, anyway, I was going to say, Paul Cornell took a line from this and turned it into a whole book. That's Love and War, in case you're interested. And obviously Khan. We're in the same area as Gallifrey, it's mentioned in this, and the Sister of the Khan. That's the first appearance. They
Yes.
will return.
I don't know.
No, they are.
And I
It's the same ones.
like them.
Sacred Fire, Sacred Flame.
Yeah.
You know,
Sisterhood is fine.
Yeah, I think that they're interesting. I think that it makes sense that they're mad at the Time Lords and that they have decided to jealously guard this thing. And the key mistake they make is nothing ever changes, which is exactly the same mistake that the Time Lords keep making.
Yep.
So it's a really and the Doctor, especially Tom's Doctor, is all about change and doing things differently and thinking differently, and so that it's a beautiful matchup. The idea that these, first of all, are the best of the best, and this is his idea. I'm going to take one arm from this and one arm from that and this lungs of this and it's just a bad plan to start with.
Yes, of course it is.
They didn't follow the overrulers.
The original idea was, which Terrence Dicks's original idea was that basically the monster was creating the man.
Yes, that it was a robot that
Yeah.
was just doing the best it could,
Yeah, and
which is a bit like that David Tennant episode, the Madame de Pompadour one,
yes,
where the
yes.
robot is gathering what it thinks it needs and just doing the best it can, doing robot logic, and that would kind of make more sense.
Get on the fireplace. I remembered.
That's
Jesus,
it.
I can't
Yeah.
remember new series stuff. I'm terrible.
Sophie Miles.
Ah, dear.
She
Yeah.
was actually dating David Tennant at the time.
Or they went
Oh.
on to date.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they were all moony-eyed at each other.
Moving on. The Sisterhood have a history, but it's a history written after their appearance. It goes back to Gallifrey. It goes back to Rassilon. Gallifrey used to be ruled by a line of seers who would look into the future and do that. Gallifreyans are also very, very telepathic. There was just one big thought pool. And Rassilon challenged the Pythia, who was the head of these seers, and her sisterhood. And after what they call the intuitive revelation, basically there's a revolution, and the Pythia, well, she kills herself, mainly down to the Doctor. And so they all end up moving to Khan, and they become.
So
the
basically,
Sisterhood of
what
Khan.
you're saying is the Sisterhood of Karn,
Yeah.
Karn itself, is basically Taiwan.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Thank you for rescuing him a little bit. I
Yeah.
didn't get that at all. Didn't get that reference.
No, I figured you wouldn't.
I mean, I know Taiwan. I know what's going on with it, and China and everything, but I don't get the reference. Am I being stupid? Shut up.
Exiles. The idea of
Yeah.
being founded by exiles.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that makes sense. Yes. Ow, claws. Little bugger.
Thank you, Cat.
Yeah, I thought you'd
There we go.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
good kitty. Good kitty. Good cat.
Good kitty.
Payments in the mail.
Anyway, so yeah, that's where the sisterhood came from. They're basically the former rulers of Gallifrey. before the Time Lords.
Exactly.
And it
Now
makes
they
sense.
are in exile.
And it makes
Essentially.
sense that they are resentful
Yes.
of the Time Lords
Oh, very much so.
in all kinds of different ways.
Now here's a question: if they are the exiled rulers of the Time Lords, how do they have such in-depth knowledge of regeneration? Unless it was something that came into vogue pre-Rassilon, pre-this. Then
You
how
see,
do
again,
they-
Chibnall has, in this particular instance, both confirmed and denied certain things.
And himself in
The
one corner, you mean?
history where we've got the Pythia and Rassilon and whatever, isn't televised history. That's from the books, the New Adventures. Now Chibnall, but part of that was a Gallifreyan triumvirate of Rassilon, Omega, and the Other. Nobody knew who the Other was, but they say Rassilon had truck with dark powers, to quote. And so you've got those three main Time Lords. Chibnall comes along, and you have the three Time Lords. It's Rassilon, Omega, and Tectayun. Which is
That's what I
interesting.
thought.
Yeah, Rassilon claimed credit for regeneration, by the way, just so you know. But because I'm sure the Doctor would have
Well, that's like saying, oh, here, I've come up with this new thing. Excellent, implement it. It's my best idea yet.
Yeah, essentially, Rassilon. You go to Gallifrey, everything is the everything of Rassilon.
Rassilon. Yep.
Yeah.
Henry Ford. He's the Henry Ford of the Time Lords, right?
He's
His
a pink
main
and-
skill is beating his apprentices.
Oh, no,
down to
forget
bad
that.
mouth.
He is the Thomas Edison of the Time
The
Lords.
pink and purple polka dot pajamas of Rassilon. They're a thing.
Yes.
Put
his name on
So
everything.
it begs the
Yeah.
question: how the fuck did Omega wangle Hand of Omega?
Nobody else wanted it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. If you know at home, do feel free to leave a comment. Brian.
Rassilon could have looked at that and went, "Ugh, no, this is all yours. It's Hand of Omega. There you go. Have fun.
There
Bye."
were too many jokes, you see.
It's Omega's hand.
I'll believe that. I'll
Yep.
believe that.
And
the only
he
thing
just
of Omega
wanted a
left.
name on it.
I just made
There
it
also
funny.
might already be two hands of Rassilon.
Had to
So
rescue my rubber band.
what are we going to do with this third one?
Bear with me. You're just twinkling something at the edge of my memory. Some sort of Time Lord lore from a book, possibly one of the Eighth Doctor books. The Two Hands of Rassilon. I could be mixing that up with anything else, but it just twanged. Sorry.
Are you mixing it up with the hands of the Emperor?
The Hands of Rassilon. That was like a Time Lord soap
The
opera,
Emperor's
right?
hands?
Like on Gallifrey, yeah.
I've got to get Joe to come and do.
Last time on the Hands of Omega.
I've got to come and do a Time Lord version of As the Action Happens with Joe. That
I
would
swing
be.
both ways, just so you know. One hot chocolate, one tea.
I do miss As the Action Happens. Fuck my throat
It was
up.
good.
Oh, hello, Steampunk Smile.
Hello. Steampunk smile.
Oh, how wonderful. Some of the old Vidiprogs. Oh, that's magnificent.
Hey.
That's me and Sinister when we were learning what cameras were.
Nice.
Yeah. Dear me, he put so much work into those, so much editing and video stuff and everything else like that. I asked a lot of
Sorry, I
him.
have a dog.
I read. That's all right. You're allowed. Yeah. So, loving the adventures of Daffy and Brian. I need to bring Daffy back out at some stage. However, I need my chief scientist, our brother from another podcast, Adam Purcell, to come round. I tell you, his title's getting longer and longer. Because Daffy is in a box and has been for a few years. There might be spiders, that's all I'm saying. So I need Adam to come and get Daffy and shake her down a bit. And then, if you're lucky, I'll bring her back on the show, and it will really upset Brian because of the terrible, terrible American accent I use in performing her.
It's not going to upset me. I'm just going to be disappointed.
Hi, I'm Daffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah,
disappointment.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
After listening to me for 154 shows. Nothing better than that.
Do you know, I actually think you're my longest running co-host,
Oh, dear
including
God.
the podcast.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. I'm terrified. I need a
I mean, yeah,
life.
from your point of view, that's like
What the hell am I doing with my life?
no, that's like that. What was that
I
cloud
have to
that Kirk gets
re-examine
stuck
everything
into
now,
and
goddammit.
Picard meets him in that weird in the Star Trek movie where like Kirk's now immortal because he's in that weird space cloud thing. That's what's happened to you. It's like you're trapped in this weird time loopy thing now of immortality, but it's also sort of a hell thing because you can't escape. So yeah,
I'm gonna need
it
to
reminds
re-examine
me-
my life.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of that meme that's been doing the round. A picture of the Count there, Count von Count. And it goes,
Yes.
so I threw away my immortality just counting things. What am I now? 500. 501. 502. Fuck it. Best American actor. Is that the best? I do a very good old timer from a John Wayne film, normally with a white beard. Gee there, boy. Gee.
no.
I never claimed I could actually do an American accent.
On behalf of the nation of America, please
Yes.
don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's along the lines of singing.
Really?
not allowed
Is
to
it that bad?
We're not allowed to sing on the Flashing Blade for fear that we will open portals and the great old ones will
Yes.
return.
Demon
It
song,
will.
essentially.
It's true.
That is by UN Resolution 47-66239.
I have an
Paragraph
You
emergency.
can look that up online.
I have an emergency.
Subparagraph B. That's the one that covers singing specifically. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dear.
C is the one that says I can only summon the Kraken under certain conditions.
That hurt.
D is of
Hello?
course this Kraken
Hello?
can only summon me.
Hi there.
Hi.
Are you being attacked by furry creatures?
No, I dropped something.
Oh, okay. All right.
And E governs Siobhan's, of course, OnlyFans page. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where singing is not allowed either, right?
Anyway, Lilibet, what do you make of the brain of Morbius?
I think it's interesting. I think it's sort of the darkest conceptually of these Philip Hinchcliffe type gothic ones. The concept of building a body from different body parts from crashed people on crashed ships. That it's not altogether clear if the crashing just happens naturally or if he's doing something deliberately to crash
It's
the
the
ships.
Sisterhood bringing them down.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's working out well for them. So it's a really dark concept.
Yeah, it is.
And oh, poor what's his name?
Kondo?
Kondo is yes, Kondo. Poor Kondo.
Kondo.
He's a psychopathic criminal.
Well, but he's the one who's like, I want my hand.
Give him his hand and I'll be it. Everyone would be dead.
Well, maybe, but he's actually quite. He's quite kind to Sarah Jane.
Yeah, only until he gets her into a stew pot situation, right? And then-
Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah.
There is that element, but there. I mean, who's the doctor?
I don't know. Beauty and the Beast is what that was, right?
Solon.
That's, you know,
Solon. Yeah,
he's
it's a Beauty and-
Kong.
Yeah.
She's Fey Ray or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's always Fey Ray in all of these. The robot likes the
Absolutely,
girl.
yes.
She's always. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's deeply cruel. What he keeps telling him what Solon keeps telling him. You know, oh, you can have your hand back when I do this. You can have your hand back when I do that. That's deeply cruel.
Oh yes.
and everybody
he's
else
totally
is-
manipulative, right?
Yeah, and the idea is that everybody else he took these parts from are dead, at least theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically.
And he's done this to a living person. No matter how bad he was, that's
Well,
his arm.
He would take them while they were alive, though. But now, yes, they are dead. Right.
Funnily
I
enough,
think that was one of his things, right? He needed the parts fresh.
Funnily
Yes.
enough, we've just had a case of organ harvesting happen over here. They got
Didn't
found
someone just
guilty.
get busted for
Yeah,
that? Like
that's what I'm
organ
talking about.
harvesting ring and all that? Yeah, like
Yep.
It's
Where
a
the hell was that?
horrific concept,
It
and
is.
yes.
it's a really really dark thing to be putting in a family show.
Yes.
I mean, the monster's fairly goofy looking. Any monster you do with parts like that is going to be fairly goofy looking, but the fact that he's got a human hand kind of makes it all that more terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And then Sarah being blind again.
And at the
Isn't
mercy
that-
of the monster, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just doesn't. No, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work, does it?
This
trouble
hits so
is,
many
every
classic
s-
monster tropes, though, right?
Every
The
single
brain. Go ahead.
sorry,
Go ahead,
every
Siobhan.
single cliffhanger is essentially the same.
Yes.
Sarah stumbles across something to do with the monster or the brain, and it's a case of it
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. It bores me. It's a case of we'll go from Solon to the Sisterhood to Solon to the Sisterhood. It just doesn't grab me. I'm sorry. I know it's a classic, but not for me.
I think it has interesting concepts, but I think overall it's actually a little too dark. And I think that Sarah, who's a character that started with so much agency,
She
you know, the
did,
Sarah we
too.
saw in earlier episodes, the Sarah of Invasion of the Dinosaurs, would be. I mean, obviously she can't report on this, but she'd be trying to figure things out. She'd be talking to like the Sisterhood. She'd be, you know, trying to figure things out, and instead she ends up screaming most of the time. Although she does have the 1 minute when she realized the stuff is drugged and she fakes going to sleep,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is
She
smart.
does spend a lot of
Yeah.
time as being that victim girl, you know, and that's kind of
And
disappointing.
that's not her.
That is
that's
not
not
her at
her,
all.
though.
Yeah. So what the hell? I mean, it just okay. A little bit of that, okay, while she was blind, but after that, the original Sarah was much more proactive. You know,
find-
to the
I'd
point
be
of
very
like
interested-
recklessness almost. So yeah.
It does make me wonder if there's an existing script for the original version of this before Bob Holmes got his hands on it, because that would be fascinating to see. Because we'd be able to see if Terrence wrote Sarah properly, or Bob Holmes changed it, or if it was just she was just written badly all the way through. It'd be interesting to see, you know, something like that.
It would be.
What was the guy that wrote Buffy? The what's his name?
Joss Whedon?
Whedon. Yeah. I wonder if it's like that. Like, you know, you can tell in his writing it comes out to super strong female character, and then she like sleeps with the dipshit blonde vampire or something like that. She just trashes herself. Like, does he just this guy secretly not like women or something, and it just keeps peeking out, or is it this character, or is it, you know, like
I think whoever it wrote it, you know, whichever
remember,
whichever
yeah.
direction, whichever direction that problem came from, whichever writer it came from, because obviously we know this went through rewrites.
right? Yeah.
Hang on, are we
The-
talking Buffy or Doctor Who yet?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, right? Okay, thank you.
Whichever direction the problem comes from, the problem is based in the script.
Yeah.
That you need someone vulnerable. You need someone to be threatened by the monster, threatened by Solon, threatened by, you know, you need someone in peril. And there isn't anyone else in the script who can legitimately be in peril.
I think that, well, I just
Because
to
we
come
don't
to that.
know
that was the
anyone.
problem, though.
It needs a B arc, a B plot. All this is A plot. The whole of the Reign
Yeah.
of Mobius is A
Yeah.
plot. It needs a B plot.
It didn't.
Yeah.
It
Well, the
didn't
problem is
need
we
someone to
don't
be in
know
peril, though.
anyone
Wait a second.
in the script
Well,
to be concerned about. Everybody knows Sarah.
Exactly.
Sarah's the whoopee.
If you have the B plot, you start getting more interaction with the
Yes.
companion and whatever. How many times
Well,
have
they
you seen the
should've
Doctor
just
and
kept her
companion split
blind
up
longer, you know, and then they could have
Introduce,
gotten
you
away
know,
with that.
sister whatever
but,
for Sarah
Yeah.
to tell
yeah, or
around
some
with
sister who was like
for you
secretly
to get to be concerned about.
with the monster.
She
or
can
something.
do all the screaming. She can do all the oh god, oh god, oh god. And
That's what I was trying to say. It
Sarah
didn't need
can
to be
still
Sarah,
be
yeah.
Sarah Jane.
one at a time, please.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
that's all right. Right, Spanky,
Yes.
your views on Brian of Morbius, please.
The brain of Morbius. This harkens back to
No.
sci-fi
She
classic.
said it right.
Yeah, the Brian
the
of
Brian of
Morbius.
Morbius.
Yeah. They're going to put a
You
tiny
know, was it-
Brian inside
Brain that wouldn't
Morbius's
die.
brain cavity.
And
How did you know?
things
It was
like
so-
the Master's brain in Heavy Metal
They
magazine.
they stole Hitler's brain. I'm just saying.
Hitler's brain, right?
They
You know, Fiend
know
Without a Face, or
exterminate
God,
them.
there were so many of these. They saved Hitler's brain. That was a good one. Zardoz had the weird disembodied brain.
I
thing
look.
even, right?
Listen to all our viewers. All right.
Anytime we get a chance to mention
Spanky.
Sean
Hang on, Spanky. Right, to our viewers, I want to set up a campaign. All right, I'm gonna try and interact on Facebook with people to try and do this as well. Staggering Stories the podcast has been going now for about 16, 17 years, as long as I've been podcasting, basically. And in all that time, in all their shows, and they look at God knows how much different stuff, they have never looked at Zardoz.
This has to
Sean
be
Connery
rectified.
in a nappy. Yeah. So, boys and girls, if you could send an email to show@staggeringstories.net, that's show@staggeringstories.net, asking them to do Zardoz, I'd really appreciate it. Thank
We
you.
should do a live watch along of Zardoz someday.
Yes, we should. Absolutely.
I've never seen it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I want to. I'm scared.
Oh no! This has to be fixed because if we
Luna,
have
have
to
you
suffer,
seen it?
so do you.
You've not seen it. Oh, Christ, if it wasn't good enough for Dave, it must have been bad.
Oh,
I
we
don't know.
have
He
to
may have
fix
seen
this.
it. We haven't.
Oh, you
done it on the
know
podcast.
full well he had done. You know
We
it.
have to fix this horrible,
Sure, I know what you're talking about.
oversight.
Tell you
Hang
what,
on,
if,
let
they,
me get
if,
on the
if,
good-
if people can get Staggering Stories to do Zardoz, then we'll do the live watch along. There you go. Because I know Adam's not going to shift on this one.
Alrighty. Where was I?
I don't know.
Anybody remember? I don't know.
Disembodied
Something
brains.
about
Oh,
Zardoz.
brains, disembodied brains. Okay,
Brains.
classic sci-fi trope, and we have the of course, the Frankenstein pastiche, but this has every classic sci-fi brain in a monster body thing. It's got a giant lobster claw. You end up with the glass thing on the head and the brain in it, so it's like this total tech on top of this weird fleshy monster thing. Plus the oddly human-looking arm, which is actually the most dangerous part of it because it comes from this totally psychotic killer, you know? And Sarah Jane being blind and at the mercy of the monster and it's clawing around and, you know, all that. And then she gets her sight back and you're like, what the hell? Excuse me. And it's running around and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's just, it harkens back to so many movies and brings back all these lovely childhood memories of, you know, disembodied brains just wreaking havoc. I loved it just for that.
Well,
I
also it
just-
got
that was
dropped on
it.
the floor.
Yeah. And, you know, it was definitely the whole oops splat, right? The man with two brains, you know, right?
I was
Like
watching
that,
my
like
5-second rule.
I can't go into chat.
5-second rule. Exactly.
I can't type in chat using Streamlabs.
Oh, that's a
That's
shame.
glorious. So, you
It's
know,
asking me to sign
I
in,
thought-
the bastard.
they did so much cool stuff that, like, it was awesome.
Oh, life is good.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that because I really, really love the monster, and you know, that was it. That was the best part of that was the monster with the giant brain in a jar, basically on top of the head, and he's running around and being all crazy.
Emperor
And they
Chop
try
Suey.
and gas him and poison him and all this, that, and the other, and it was just,
I have the lungs of a Biristrop.
oh yeah, it was just great because it just brought back so many fond childhood memories of, you know, disembodied brains just wreaking havoc. I would have loved as a child to have been a disembodied brain in a giant robot body to just
You
like,
came.
and you go romp or stomper on a city. That would have been great.
You came close at Afghanistan, to be fair.
I did, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
and disembodied brain.
But the
or,
thing is,
know,
would
a
you
sponge-
use your robot body?
Slightly damp spun in a Ziploc. Yeah,
Would you
damp
use
sponge.
your robot body for good?
Probably not. I would use it entirely for mischief. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
evil, but I would definitely
Shenanigans?
be using it for naughty. Yes,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
naughty shenanigans,
I approve.
tomfoolery, etc. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, tomfoolery, definitely.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Just as an update for our viewers who are desperately wanting to know, I am in the midst of acquiring Zardoz for our two lovely
Oh no.
co-hosts.
Oh, no.
Yay!
To
I
suffer.
told you,
mean, watch.
you get Starring
Watch.
Stories to do
Hi-Fi
it,
collection.
and we'll do a live. We'll do
No,
a
no,
live
no.
watch.
We're better. We do it first.
Oh, excuse me.
We're better. We do it first.
Oh, that could start some arguments off.
Bring
Oh
it.
dear.
They haven't watched Zardoz. We do it first.
Yeah, they'll probably turn around and say, "You see, we were stronger-willed than that." They'd make an actual
Not about
bonus
stronger
out
will.
of
It's
this.
about the loss of sanity afterward.
Oh, I'm not doing well in that as it is.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
isn't
None of us
good.
are. It's the 23rd. It's 2023. None of us are doing well in that area.
No, those are
It's-
numbers. I don't want numbers. Numbers
Don't
are
worry
bad.
about it. However, let's just say mission complete.
Oh, Brian, have I told you recently how much I hate you?
No, but say it again.
yeah.
I kind of enjoy the sound of it.
I hate you.
Oh, ooh, ha.
Okay.
Chill down the spine.
Ah, bless. That's nice.
Love it.
Good. So overall, this is going to be an interesting one. Did you enjoy this Brain of Morbius? Hands up if you did. We'll do the hands up jobby because there's too many of us.
I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
say
Oh, the thumb
middle-
rule. The
middle of
thumb
the
rule.
road.
Middle thumb. Spanky, are you thumbing? Oh, he's frozen.
He's frozen, but it's a good freeze.
It looks like he looks like a dog who's
It's
just
a
about to
natural freeze.
just seeing a bird being shot out the
There you
sky,
go.
ready to.
No, oh, he's moving. He's moving now.
Spanky, thumb, Brain of Morbius.
Yay!
Brady Morbius, is it?
Up.
And up,
Up,
right here, and I'm a down.
Just for the
So-
disembodied brain monster. Just that was it, man. That was
So make
glorious.
your own
That's
minds
fair.
up. Quite frankly, that one. Oh dear, we need to move on.
Don't forget, Flashing Blade. Our phone lines are open. Hop
They are.
into chat and please let us know what you think about the Brain of Morbius.
I'm listening. So
What the hell? We could be an AM radio talk show or something.
we could be. We'd do an excellent breakfast show, except none of us could be asked getting out of bed.
No, they put us on at like 3 o'clock in the morning. That'd be
And a
great.
big hello to all
No,
you
that'd be
truckers out there.
glorious, yeah. Be all over it.
Oh dear.
I'd be down for that.
Okay, well, so would I. To be fair,
Absolutely, yeah.
contact an
I'm
AM
already up at
station.
5 a.m. 5 a.m.
Late
is not
night
a decent
AM
time of
talk
day.
show. Come on, that'd be terrific.
We should
I
do
am not
this.
coherent at 5 a.m.
Oh yeah, that overnight.
All right, well, no. We never
talk show.
come a little bit. You know what our standards are like here. We never promise
Oh, yeah.
coherence. It's
No, there would be no coherence.
no.
But,
But think
no.
of it,
There would be
it'd be
things
a
going on.
job other than teaching. I don't know how you'd feel about that.
I wouldn't mind a job
Yeah.
other, but if I did something else, it would not be something I had to get up early in the morning for.
Fair.
Oh no, you'd
Fair.
just have to stay up late at
The
night.
thing is, you
Smart
say it's a
woman.
job other than
I'm too
teaching.
old for that.
She would have to control the three of us. That's a bit of a raw deal for her, to be fair.
I don't know. I've been.
Hi. Okay.
Okay.
That's my marionette pose.
That's very
Sorry.
good. Well done. It's very, very nice. Yes. Anyway, moving on. Big Finish.
Yes.
Ooh. This week we're looking at the second UFO box set. Now, UFO, for those that don't know, was the first live-action Jerry Anderson television program that I'm aware of, anyway, and it was a product of its time. It was a bit sexist, etc. And I have to admit, I watched the first episode of it and thought to myself, "Oh, this hasn't held up too well because of that." The model work, superb, absolutely superb. Because basically, it's a load of UFOs that are trying to invade Earth. They're doing something. It's not so much an invasion; it could be body snatching. We're not sure.
They shared a lot of stuff with Space 1999 or something almost.
I'll
or maybe
come.
they got
I'll
left out
I'll come
something.
to that. I will come to that. Don't worry.
Via a
bit
large
later.
chunk of Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
So, this box set is Big Finish's reimagining of it. We've had the first box set, which is how Ed Straker gets recruited into Shadow. This is the second box set where they're setting Shadow up. It's slowly coming online. The moon base is just about ready. SID, the Space Intruder Detector, a satellite with amazing sensors and a very dry voice, comes online and immediately detects some UFOs. In the first story, a pilot called Paul Foster, and if you know your TV series, you'll know this name, basically gets involved in a UFO encounter, and at the end, it seems like he's died. However, in the second story, he's come back. Second story is partly based on one of the TV episodes, an episode called Time Lash. And
Which
indeed,
they reference in the
yes, saying what a
briefly.
terrible title it is. And then the third story is what the real thing is about. And it's basically they're after Straker. And no big surprise to say they don't get Straker. But again, they've taken...
They do hit him.
They've taken one of the TV episodes and almost thrown it out the window, to be fair. But all I can say is this is just action, action, action with a bit of character work, a little bit of soap, but not much. And I absolutely bloody adored this. Totally adored it. Who would like to go first out of you two? Robert?
Well, I listened to the first two. I didn't get to the third one.
Okay.
So I can only talk
Third one
about
was
the
my
first
favorite. Oh,
two. I liked all the dialogue. I liked that they have tried deliberately to rectify the female character problem in that you have women, very competent, personable women in positions of authority. She's basically like second in command. She's running the moon
Well,
base.
they had that on
and
the
former
TV
show members
as
who were
well.
in junior positions who are now running the show. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, they had this in the actual TV show, except they were dressed up ridiculously.
Yeah, in ridiculous
Purple wigs and
tights
mini
Goofy
and
wigs
vinyl
and
mini skirts and
things,
whatever.
yeah.
ridiculous nonsense.
Exactly.
So, and I've seen like the coming on of the TV show, you know, the title, and I've seen a few scenes here and there. I'm not familiar with the plots, so this may be stuff that comes from the TV show. I like Stryker as a character, but I think his cover story is stupid. Because they make it obvious in the first one that he's running. He says he's the head of this like movie studio,
Harlington
right? As his
Straker.
cover story,
Yep.
and that he's like the head of the studio. And at
Done
first,
executive, yeah.
you have this whole conversation with his family about why they've never been able to visit. And I thought, oh, okay, so the movie studio doesn't actually exist. It's just it's a cover story. It's a bad cover story, but it's a cover story. Well, then we find out that the movie studio does in fact exist, and they actually make stuff there.
Make movies, yeah.
So why doesn't he bring his family in for the
Why
day?
hadn't he taken him to a premiere or something, right?
Right.
Where did this
Take him on a
giant hole in
tour.
the
It's-
freaking plot come from? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's
With you.
actually
With you.
pointed. It's actually quite a pointed thing that he hasn't taken them to the film studio, because it shows how tunnel visioned the man is.
Yeah, but premieres aren't held at the studio; they're held in theaters. He could have red carpeted them, let him get on the camera, wear little
I
tux,
honestly
have a
don't
night out,
think-
and boom, gone. You know,
I don't
mean,
think
like,
Harlington Straker ever managed to actually make anything.
well, I don't know. Because they mentioned
trying
one of
to
these,
make
and
stuff.
The third one isn't. Oh no, we've got 3 movies in right now and 5 TV shows or something.
I like I
He
say,
just
I'm
put
not sure.
something out and all that. Like he
Yeah,
rattles
I think
off
it's
a list of
just a bad
stuff.
cover story. I mean, you might be right that he's tunnel visioned, but this is not new, right? There's a time gap. This isn't
You're
like
making
they
me
just
think.
set
Oh,
this
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You are making me think. I have to admit, I'm tempted to
There's a
actually
thing with that,
ask
too.
someone about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, if it's actually a movie studio, and even if they don't actually produce anything, even if just faked the whole thing, right? There's clearly an actual director there trying to pretend, trying to do a thing. So you could take perfectly innocent people there and say, look, there's the guy, that's why I'm so busy, this is why I can't do stuff, I love you, but, right?
Right.
And that would get his family off his back and make his son, I don't know, think his dad loves him or something. Like,
Yep.
I was really annoyed with that whole situation where I thought it was just a dumb cover story and that it was badly planned, and then realizing, I thought, okay, so he's not good at this.
I know, realizing it's plot device stupidity or something is what I thought it was. That's
And
what
then-
pissed me off, yeah.
When we get him, he's not good with his family, and I think that's the point they're trying to make,
Yeah.
is that he's compartmentalized his life, and he's given everything to Shadow, and he's pretty good at Shadow. And everybody kind of trusts him, and he has to make responsible decisions and all of this stuff. And then he goes home, and because it's Secret Squirrel, and he can't. That's the other problem that I had with this.
Fucking
They're
Secret
so
Squirrel.
Secret Squirrel, he can't tell his wife anything. He can't tell his kid anything. They don't tell the planet that they're being invaded by UFOs.
Yeah, what the hell's up with
Why?
that?
Why don't you tell people? If you told people, half the problems they have disappear.
Yep.
How many fake reports would Shadow have to investigate if the world knew?
Well, but they've got detective stuff. They can figure out what's real and what
They
isn't.
got all kinds of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So if they
They got
just
massive
told people,
resources.
Playing
and
devil's
things. I mean,
advocate.
they could have.
Yeah, I think that it's I understand why they're doing what they're doing. And I think maybe this is a sort of 60s thing that's come over.
Yeah. It's
Because
got to be a
the
secret war,
Yeah,
like
it's a
bullshit.
secret
Yeah.
shadow war, Instead of just saying, hey guys, aliens are invading. We
Real,
don't know
yeah,
much about it. We're set up, we're dealing with the government and the military. And we're working together, because if they were working with the military, the whole Foster situation doesn't happen.
Right.
Because he cleared it with the military.
It's just so much plot device stupidity because it's so contrived. It really does harm the story.
I do
That
still
they're hiding
wonder about the pluses and minuses of having the general population know.
And they're doing, like, they've got moon bases and moon launches and things going up into space
Yeah,
all
somebody
the time.
didn't notice?
Well,
Almost like that.
also, well, here's another thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but what they're using because of the disparity in technology between us and the aliens to shoot down alien craft are nuclear weapons. So,
I'm not sure they
at least
are.
even some junior jackass, yes, they are. Trust me, believe me.
The
But even
the reason
some
I
junior
say that, and
jackass with a freaking telescope is going to see the blinding new star that exists even temporarily out by Saturn, Venus, or whatever. In the middle of the night, that's going to just pop up there in the sky. Like, what the hell is that? Like,
I'm 99% certain it's not nukes they're using. I don't think it's actually mentioned in the show, and on the TV show it
Googled
wasn't.
it, said nukes. Yeah.
No,
I looked it up and researched it because I couldn't find it otherwise.
It's not nukes. On the TV show, it's not nukes. It'd be too bloody dangerous for the pilots. I know you got standoff stuff and this, that, and the other,
figure.
but they
How
do
would it be
sound.
dangerous
But
for
they,
the
from
pilot?
the soundscape, it's as if they're certainly too close to fire a nuke off.
I mean, one thing they get is the one thing where they're firing atmospherically. That's different. I mean, when they're talking about like firing out in space,
That's
and
what
stuff
I'm
like that,
talking
those
about.
Are all supposed
I
to be
mean, you got the
nukes.
three. You got
But inner
what's it,
atmosphere wouldn't be.
6 UFOs coming at once, and one nuke should be able to take out the whole lot. But
Well,
they have
you're
to
assuming
fly-
nukes only come in one size, Siobhan. They do not.
I know, but a nuke itself, even a baby nuke, is a fucking strong thing. And I still say they would have taken out more.
Yeah.
I still say they would have taken out more ships if they were nukes. I don't think it's nukes.
I don't know.
What a bizarre thing to have a discussion about.
Yeah.
The
Anyway.
aliens also aren't very good at communicating what it is that they want.
Yeah. Terrible.
brains.
Because
For being able to brain rape people. Yeah, they're bad at it. Yeah.
if they can do all of this, if they have all this massive technology, they can manipulate time, they can do all these things. They've got these ships obviously faster than light ships.
Faster than light, yeah.
Hello.
I don't know. Maybe hi
The hell do they
humans,
need with
we
us?
would like the resources on your planet, please.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
hey, we want to kill people. Like, what do they want? Why? What's their motivation?
All right. Well,
Is it to
again, the
serve man?
TV
Is it just
series we
to
know,
cook?
but
They're
what?
aliens,
You're like,
though. That and
They're
they invade.
aliens.
That's their
Yeah, but they still have to have a
motivation.
goal.
one
I
at a
mean-
time, please.
yeah, sorry. No matter how alien they are, they still have to have an objective. You know, they still have to have a goal, a stated purpose, even if it's only to themselves. And we should be able to find that out some way, somehow. I mean, we've got to be able to comb some of this wreckage or something.
I think the next
Right.
box sets will reveal it. There is a
Spanky
reason
makes-
they're doing this.
Spanky makes an excellent point about the aliens needing motivation.
Yeah.
The problem is they're being written as cartoon villains.
Yes. Which is another. We were going to get.
They're
to
not
this.
being written with I have goals, I have plans, I have needs. They're being written as
Perhaps
two-dimensional
they're
cartoon
playing the
villains.
long game with this.
If it's
just
the
like-
long game,
Yeah.
how long do these freaking people live?
Yeah.
What, Big Finish?
No, the aliens.
No, I'm saying
You know
Big
what it
Finish
reminded me
are
of?
playing the long game.
No, I mean,
To tease the story out, because we know why the aliens are coming here.
I think Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Not just Voltron, but like, you know, Star Blazers or something like that. Like the show starts and all of a sudden, no, enemy craft approaching. And that's like where the show begins. Oh no, you know, whatever
Interesting.
on the horizon.
I find that interesting. It's the most adult Jerry Anderson sort of series.
It
And
is a
yet-
very Jerry Anderson series.
But it is very Jerry Anderson, like you say. It's as if he doesn't quite know where to pitch it.
I'm saying.
Well, and the
it's just-
thing, like Captain Scarlet, you have a really clear motivation for those aliens.
Captain Black bloody well blew him up.
Yes. Yeah, and they're annoyed about that.
A little, yeah.
I mean, those aliens also communicate really clearly. Now, they're not bright aliens either, because they tell the whole plan at the beginning of every episode. We're going to
Yeah,
do
right.
this thing. And you're not going to be able to stop us, despite the fact that you've stopped us every episode.
Right.
Supposed to
However,
notice.
I love that. This time,
However-
we're going to get you.
this time, and admittedly,
Gee there, boy,
sometimes
I'm
in-
gonna blow. Oh, sorry.
sometimes, admittedly, in them they do win, or they sort of win. And I think that was like Assassination Time. The second episode was really Captain Blackie. It was really somebody came back and we're not sure if it's them and how much memories do they have and they shouldn't have survived this whole thing, and it's very it's that idea. And it's an interesting idea.
Do you think at some stage, I know somebody mentioned it maybe last week, do you think we should actually look at the TV series of UFO? At some stage.
Not unless we also look at the late 80s, early 90s version of War of the Worlds.
I'm leaving that one to you. You see,
Always
we're having to rearrange things a little bit, boys and girls.
War of the Worlds? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
basically,
there's so much
only-
out there.
Only Spanky and I think, I don't know if Lilibet's in on this, watch Callan.
No.
Right, so
Yeah.
that's Spanky and me. Spanky,
Oh, and it's so
Lilibet,
awesome.
and
Oh my God.
myself are doing the big finish. Spanky and I are doing Edge of Darkness. You two aren't.
Correct.
So there's a space here for you two to come up with
I'll do all of
something
it.
to do either together or individually or whatever. But that's where you could talk about your War of the Worlds thing. You know, basically have fun with that. And indeed, indeed, Buffet the Vampire Lair.
Buffet the Vampire.
I'm down for that one.
Dave got real mad at me one day because I don't know if we bought the box set or we were watching it. Anyway, I had seen the odd episode here and there, but I'd never watched it from beginning to end because I was in college at the time and I didn't have time. But we put on the first episode, and I put the commentary on with it. And he's like, "You can't watch the first episode for like that you've never seen before with the commentary on." I was like,
Right,
"Of course
with
I can.
commentary
I'm getting the commentary and the audio and the video all at once."
Right, sod this. I'm sorry, I am with Dave on this. All right, and I will stand by him on this one.
That's the hill you'll die on, right?
Yep.
I hate to say it, but I'd be fighting right beside you. I don't know how you can do that a little bit. Oh my God. You're so damaged. We love you.
I was having a great old time.
Oh God, I could just imagine it.
It's too funny.
Oh, the grump, the slightly disbelieving grump. Oh,
Yeah. Very
Bless him.
disgruntled.
Bless him.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on now to talk about Edge of Darkness. Brian, did you watch Edge of Darkness?
Yes, I watched it.
Excellent.
I hated it.
Oh.
No, Don Baker.
So I decided to watch another cop drama from 1980s called Something Is Out There.
Don't take
Much
this
more
personally.
genre.
Don't take this personally. I need to make more hot chocolate. It's happened at this time in
That's
the show.
fine.
All right.
It's all fine. So in lieu of Edge of Darkness, you're getting a review of the Something Is Out There miniseries from 1988, which has aliens, alien princesses, and cops. What could go wrong?
Of course.
So it aired on NBC in 1988, and it had a series that lasted 6 whole episodes before they canceled it.
Wow.
The reason they canceled it was because they put it up against Beauty and the Beast. And in 1988, if you put
Beauty and the Beast
anything,
was huge. My mother used to watch Beauty and the Beast.
yeah, if you put
Ron Perlman as
anything
the
up
Beast,
against
and what's her
Beauty and
name
the
from
Beast,
Terminator and Tag the Assassination Game. Oh my
Yeah.
God! Did anybody ever see Tag the Assassination Game?
yes,
that
I
was
did.
what's her name's first movie, and then she got Terminator from there and was just kaboom,
Yeah.
crazy. Oh
So
my
this
God.
movie
And then they
had
put that
Joe
out.
Cortese and Miriam Diabo.
Oh, yeah.
Joe is a cop on the edge, and she's an alien princess, and they
Yeah, an
together they
alien
fight
princess.
crime.
It's an
pretty
anime
much.
brought to in live action, right?
It is a meme in live action. They all have origins pretty much with this. So
Yes.
Joe's character's name is Jack, which, good cop name.
Yes. Good Irish
He's-
cop
Yes.
name.
Yeah, he's a police officer.
bag
He's
of donuts,
investigating
yeah.
brutal murders in L.A. He learns the crimes are being committed by
Good
a
call.
monstrous alien insectoid prisoner known as
Made
a
me hungry watching that.
xenomorph who can shape shift, possess people, and is telepathic. So yeah, it's
All
got,
these things.
it's got
It's got
all
everything,
the
yeah.
stuff going on with it. He's
It's
helped
worse
in
than the
this.
Aliens.
It's in it by Tara, who was a medical officer on the alien prison ship transporting this thing. Needless to say, it escaped,
Of course.
and she's the lone survivor of that ship. Hilarity ensues, and I'm sorry to say it turns into a series because it really lost something when it turned into a series.
Yes.
The miniseries had talents like Rick Baker doing during the practical effects. John Dykstra was in on it. It was a fantastic miniseries. And then the budget just crashed out on the actual series. So they went from about 7.5 million for a 4-hour miniseries to 1 million an episode.
And that's always how it happens, isn't it?
Yeah. They also they rejected the whole Monster of the Week synopsis, which everybody loved.
Mm-hmm.
And it just tanked the show by episode 6, unfortunately. There are 2 unaired episodes, which, unaired by NBC. They have been aired on cable. The Sci-Fi Channel, back when it was Sci-Fi.
I remember those days.
picked it up
Back
and
when I
showed
actually
it
showed
in their one hit
Sci-Fi,
wonder
yeah.
series, and yeah, it was good. It was very good. But after a while, it veered into the supernatural and psychic phenomena and just lost its way. However, the insectoid monster in the first series, freaking disgusting and horrible. Just
Well,
what
yeah,
we
Rick Baker's doing the character design.
Oh yeah, Rick Baker was doing it, and it was fantastic. The main series, it's available on YouTube. Do try to watch
What's
it
it called
because
again, please?
something is out there.
Something is out there. Right.
It's a two-parter.
Uh-huh.
So take it as you will.
Okay.
About 4 hours of television
Okay.
from 1988. Excellent show.
The limited series, yeah.
All right. Fair dues. Thank you. No, but you haven't got anything prepared for this because I didn't let you know.
No, I don't.
It was only when I was talking with Brian last night, I suddenly thought, hang on, neither of them are doing Edge of Darkness. I made a cock up. Last week, I asked a little bit to listen to The Return of Joe Jones.
Yes. Which was really good.
It was
I
really
enjoyed
good, but there were certain emotional beats that were possibly a little bit too much. And so I said we were going to watch Edge of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking realised just... Let's put it this way. The whole of the story is motivated by the lead character's grief. And
Largely, yeah.
It was practically too much for me to watch this time round because, like you, I also had losses. And, yeah, that was difficult. However, we're going to continue. Spanky and I will look at Edge of Darkness.
You would think the killer would be much easier to apprehend since he's using a Hollywood gun, the Hollywood knockback gun, and this is a very specific version of the knockback gun, which is the knock you back in place gun. The girl gets shot and does a backflip in place, essentially. Like, what?
Should I give a quick rundown on what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. Ron Craven, not John Craven, Ron Craven. Ronnie Craven is a defective investor, chief inspector, whatever, and he's investigating vote rigging in a mining union's latest elections. And it's pretty high level, this, and he has to come to an agreement with the leader of the mining union to delay the results of his investigation by a couple of weeks, just so they can get the miners' union conference out of the way. He agrees to this. Anyway, on his way back from this meeting, he pulls in at home. It's pissing down with rain. His daughter comes out. Daughter Emma comes out to greet him, and a gunman suddenly comes out of the bushes, yells "Craven," and shoots him. Except Emma seemingly gets in the way, and gets killed. And this is when it gets hard to watch. This is episode 1. There is more going on than we really know, though we've had hints in this episode. Craven ends up going down to London to help the Met search for the guy who they think shot her. We think it's probably somebody from the IRA, because Craven did a long spell over in Ireland. And, however, at one point he's picked up by a rather wonderful Brit, a guy called Pendleton, who drives like a loony, and apparently is looking after her, I was about to say Her Majesty Margaret Thatcher. Oh, Christ, she'd have loved that. She's looking, basically, they only release Pendleton when the realm is threatened. And the realm is being threatened, not that we know about it. He drops some hints in Craven's direction. He also seems to be working with another guy called Harcourt, who's played by Doctor Who's own Ian McNeice. I'm sure he'd love being described like that. He's at Churchill. And Joe Don Baker turns up, and he knows these guys. Something's going on here. And so basically, and also Craven has found some interesting things in Emma's room. A Geiger counter, a load of clothes that are extremely radioactive that he has to burn. Something's going on, something more than just a revenge shooting. The question is what? So, Spanky, did you enjoy this?
I did.
Talk to me.
I thought it was entertaining. The ridiculous gun thing notwithstanding, the cop drama versus sci-fi. There's another show it reminded me of terribly. The one we did a while back where the guy's going back and forth to the moon. What the hell show was that? Remember? Because it had really hardcore sci-fi with like a real cop drama.
Star Cops.
Star Cops, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of reminded me of that for some reason. I thought it was pretty good. Like that, for some reason, it just struck a chord there. I thought that was in science we have this, but I don't know why, but it really kind of reminded me of that.
This is a harder hitting drama than Star Cops, to be fair.
Yes, it is much harder hitting than Star Cops. Yes, a lot darker, but
Enjoying the acting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Convincing portrayal of grief from a man not used to showing his emotions.
For a man not used to showing his emotions, yeah, who's really doing a poor job of handling it all, yeah. Yep. I know, I like that because grief does break people, and the idea of the cop or whatever whose close friend, relative, whatever, lover gets killed and then somehow manages to pull off an investigation of the crime and bring them into justice is a complete fallacy. It would always end up with, a breakdown and blood in the streets and, something like that.
People wouldn't be allowed to work on that case. They just wouldn't let you.
Right? Like they would run off and
Well, they say officially he's not involved. Unofficially, keep them informed.
Unofficially, he's all over that scene, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, yeah, come on, man.
24 hours or you're off the case.
Right, so it's that whole thing. And they did kind of a good job of showing he was really kind of screwing him up. So,
what'd you make of the music?
This was pretty good. It was all right. I'm trying to remember if there's anything specific I'm trying to remember about the music, but I'm not thinking anything that really jumped out at me.
Interesting. Okay. I think it's a lovely score. It's by Eric Clapton.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, that was the thing. It was all done by Eric Clapton, right?
Well, he co-wrote it with someone.
Who else? I don't remember.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, we have the return, at long last, of an old favourite from the Flashing Blade podcast of yore.
That's what it reminded me of. Sorry. I want to hit this before you hit that. Because it reminded me of, was that the Stephen King thing, right? With the trucks. Because he did the whole score with AC/DC, Who Made Who or whatever. Yeah, sorry, that's where I got that. But that was kind of cool like that, right? But although this isn't quite as apocalyptic a thing as that, at least not yet.
Anyway.
Good.
Thank you.
I had to throw that out there, yeah.
Yeah, gathered.
I will shoot you. I have a rubber band.
Return.
Ricochet.
The return of an old Flashing Blade favourite. Joe gets it wrong, except in this case, it's going to be Spanky. Okay, Spanky, what's going on? What's going to happen?
Where are we at? What are we doing? Are we in
Edge of Darkness?
Edge of Darkness. Oh, goody. I like the third one the best. I do like the third one the best. This
third
opens up. I think,
hang on, you haven't watched all of it,
right?
Have you?
Edge of Darkness?
Yeah. No, you can't have watched all of it because I haven't given you access to episode 2.
Well, no, actually, I found out they have it on Daily Motion apparently.
Oh, don't. I've got a proper.
I'm not going to. Yeah. We're supposed to do it one at a time on this. I'm
finding it very difficult.
It was so long ago and I couldn't remember if it's rare, honestly, that a show you remember fondly as a child will be as good or better when you're an adult. Okay, in my experience anyway. And Callan was really, really good when I was a child, and it's an astonishingly quantum leap forward better now as an adult. I'm able to appreciate it so much more. And so, yes, I totally gobble up all the episodes and all that. And I don't care because
So, what's going on? What is going on with Edge of Darkness? What's happening in it? Why? What do you think's going to happen? Come on, what's your prediction?
Between he's going to find out who, did the daughter killing thing, and it's going to be some conspiracy, and it's going to be Brian's got an idea.
I got a prediction.
Go on.
Go ahead, do it.
The Triffids will free themselves and make humanity blind in their desperate need to absorb human flesh and blood as they repopulate the earth in Triffidness.
You are closer than you think.
I know. I remember what you told me. I just made it Triffids.
Okay, that is good. That is good. Yeah.
To serve man.
So you're not. I mean, after episode 1, I can understand this, but you're not going to come out and plant your flag somewhere on a particular thing that could happen or what it's about. You're waiting to see. Is that what you're saying? All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to come out and try and plot the whole thing out yet.
Okay, so after next week's
But
episode,
I like the grief-stricken cop, and there are elements of this larger plot and things going on. So we're like, I'm going to let the show happen and not try and
Well, you're going to have another guest next week because I'm going to be asking
next
every
episode.
week.
We will take another swing at it. How many episodes? Like 4,
6.
right? I think 6. There we go. I know it's a limited series, so.
Oh yeah, limited series. Oh dear. Modern
Mini
day parlance.
series,
Modern day parlance.
It,
It would just have been called the serial.
On a mantra nowadays, it would just be, that's a full season. Yeah, like really, you cheap bastards. Yeah.
So, moving on, I'm afraid it's still Spanky and me. And we're still...
Now we're doing...
Callan.
Callan, okay.
Okay, Callan's Hunter.
Did we do all the UFO? I can't remember.
Yes, love, we did.
Okay, damn, I missed it. Because the last one was my favorite.
You were talking, so...
I know, probably.
Yes, Callan is Hunter.
Callan.
He's in charge.
Yes, he
people
is.
aren't 100%
Poor
happy
bastard.
about that. He's not 100% happy about that. I think it's one of those things that happened to him, and he's still trying to work out how. However, they've got a job on. Basically, an information broker wishes to sell a list of agents in the East. We'll say in East Berlin just for safety's sake here. And he's prepared to make it go to the highest bidder. Obviously, the section want it first. However, he's also talking to the KGB, or at least he thinks he's talking to the KGB, because Callan has brought back Toby Mears from America. And it's interesting to see the relationship. I mean, the relationship between Mears and Callan was developing anyway back in the old black and white series. It's interesting to see where it is now. Callan's in charge, and Mears is the top boy, which has really pissed Cross off, Patrick Moe's character.
It's kind of pissing Mears off, but he handles it a lot better.
Mears, he's after Callan's job, and he's made no bones about that. Callan shouldn't be there.
No secret about it, right?
His face does not fit. He's not got the right school tie.
Mears does know one thing, though. He knows that if he ever had to go head-to-head with Callan, it wouldn't be him walking away, right? And that's the only thing that's keeping Mears going, and probably Callan too, because that would have otherwise resolved itself a while back.
No. As it is, the KGB do turn up. And they do. There's shooting that happens.
There is shooting.
There is shooting. Because it's canon. Yeah. This is a fun one. It's a case of, look, this is the new norm. Get used to it.
Yes. Well, it gives you a good insight into the other side of the job. You see Callan's side so far as, being on the underbelly. He's got to do all this dirty scut work and trash and screw these people over and stuff. And then you see him arguing to get a taxi cab as a vehicle in his pool, right? And then he finally comes out with the mobile command facility thing or whatever because it's
I'd
a radio
forgotten
car.
about that. It's
And,
the-
and Bishop's like, okay, now see, I can sell that, jackass. Why are you telling me about this other crap? Bring it to me like that.
I'd
It's a
forgotten
little
about that.
Callan. Yeah, no, and that was
to
great,
keep
right?
Lonely, sort of
Well,
not so
to
much
keep
on
Lonely, but
side,
actually-
but to keep him from blabbing.
But
and
it's actually
also,
a really good idea.
It
because
is a
it's
good
a common
idea.
tool for the Russians.
Yeah,
They all of their cars are radio cars. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lonely basically has been given a taxi, a Black London
Mm-hmm.
cab.
And he's a shit cabbie.
He's terrible.
He's a terrible cabbie. Plus, you're gonna put the little sneaky guy in an enclosed environment like that. Oh my
Only
God.
when he's nervous.
Yeah, and he's always nervous. So.
So we're gonna have to see where that goes. Obviously, they won because they were shooting, and apparently shooters always win.
And you see that Cross is having issues.
Oh yeah, Cross is definitely having issues. Callan's in charge, and this other bloke he doesn't know has come back and is senior to him. And indeed, Toby does pull rank on him.
Oh yes,
At
he
one
does,
point.
and Cross is definitely having some problems with that. He's Cross. It seems it may be a little more frail.
I was going to say
you would
fragile.
expect. Fragile, whatever. He's a little more. He's brittle. That's what he is. It's not. He's tough, but some kinds of steel bend depending upon how you temper them, and some shatter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the kind that shatters, not the kind that bends.
So next
okay.
week, I mean,
can
there's
hammer
no point in me
until it
asking you
bends
if you.
out. But you can't. Yeah.
There's no point in me
Shadow
asking you if you enjoyed it because of course you did. It's Callan.
Oh, I loved it. Yes, it's Callan.
Do you want to know which one we're doing next week?
I forgot the one. Hang
It's
on, I will
called
tell you.
First Refusal.
Yeah, that was today's, wasn't it?
No. Yes,
Yes, you're looking at the wrong list. It's not
I
that
am.
one.
Rules of the game.
Second.
It's rules of the game.
Yeah, rules of the game.
It's the right list. I
Yes.
just got 1 week out. Yeah, rules of the game.
No,
we're
and
looking at.
I like the way they do these little things like that because he gets the first refusal for certain jobs and things, right? And that's important. And then the rules of the game is that they do this, we do this. There are these unwritten rules that, for example, the Russians and the English play by, and the Americans and all that. We don't go after this, or we don't do that, or we, families, or yada yada. If we're going to do an exchange, there are rules, and so it's kind of interesting to see how that plays out, and then to a larger extent how it encompasses the rest of the players in the show.
Well,
It's
we
kinda
shall see.
neat, but-
We shall see. I'll say one thing, Callan. You're a bad hunter.
Yeah.
Right, so
Hunter
next
is
week.
not a good job for him.
Next week, Callan, again, episode 2 of Edge of Darkness.
Although he was going into it actually, yeah.
I'm not sure what we're going to do for Big Finish. I might dig one out. I might not. All right? Because
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ow, I got a painful...
Why don't we just do the next one for UFO?
Because it's not out yet.
We've got oh, never mind. Now it's number 1 that we're on. I'm sorry. We did number 2. I don't know why I've got them in backwards order in my head. Let's
Yes,
see.
I'm not sure. I didn't say during that review, basically, of how it links up with Space 1999. In the real world, Space 1999 Season 1 was originally going to be UFO Season 2. That was going to be set on the moon base.
Right?
However, that idea got dropped by, I think, Lou Grade. And they basically used everything the pre-work they'd done for UFO and turned it into Space 1999. However, in the fictional world, in the Big Finish fictional world, Space 1999 and UFO are in the same universe. The events of UFO happen in the past of Space 1999, and there have been hints in the Space 1999 audio series which have had me jumping, well, not jumping up and down, but...
So did the UFOs win?
They can't have done.
Are you sure?
Yeah, unless they're responsible for the moon being blasted out of orbit, and I don't think they were.
I'm just saying.
The TV show originally thought it might be God that did it, but
Yeah, right. All we know was a toxic waste dump that exploded and somehow acted like a rocket engine on the moon. Go figure.
but my own personal thing is that John Koenig committed Grand Theft Luna, and
that's
the man should suffer. He left a bloody egg, as if we
So
wouldn't notice.
here's a problem then. If the moon leaves orbit,
Yes,
how much
of Earth.
damage is the Earth looking at, really?
I think it was Series 2 of Space 1999.
It would
on
definitely.
the telly.
I believe this was already answered, though.
Yeah. In one day, our
in a
planetary rotation would go like this. It would rotate 45 degrees.
Well, I believe this was already answered in a classic seminal series called Thundar the Barbarian,
oh yes.
where an object hurtles between Earth and the moon, disrupting gravity,
Just for a day.
That's
right?
just actually
Destroying-
happened, but as an
destroying civilization. And then 300 years later,
Oh,
mankind finally emerges.
does it?
Lords of
The
Light.
time of
right?
science and super science and sorcery.
Right. We don't know what happens after too much.
Just so
about
you guys know.
after
Yeah,
the,
this is
um,
actually a Rift campaign.
I
Right.
will actually bloody get to finish a sentence tonight.
Thundar is.
You are
Go
bad
ahead.
tonight. You really are. Fuck it now. Yes.
1999.
They do series 2. They do, I think, manage to get back in contact with Earth, and Earth has been fucked by this. They it's not taken lightly. It's not a case of, well, everything's all right. There was a little bit of a problem, but no, Earth is devastated by this, and I appreciate that. I do.
Earth should be devastated
yeah.
by that. No tides, no not.
But we have nothing beyond
Oh,
that to know what's going on. Maybe Big Finish will address it. Who knows?
What's the astronomer's name?
Which
the
one?
guy who made Pluto not a planet.
Oh, bastard.
I'm blanking on him.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Thank you.
He
He
wasn't
would
just
be
him.
a perfect person to have
Yeah.
to throw that question at.
What will
Maybe
happen
we
to
should
the Earth if
email
the
him or
moon
something.
got blown out of orbit by a nuclear dump?
Yeah.
blowing
Space
up?
1999. If yada.
Well, apart from
Like,
the
come on,
radiation
podcast.
from the nuclear.
And could
dump.
an egg be left in its place?
Yeah.
You never know.
Who knows? Perhaps the radiation fertilized the egg. It's a thought, isn't it? Hey, who's watched Picard?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the third series yet.
I've got a problem here. I
still
did,
working
I
on it for a
did
second.
put a post in our chat.
You did, and then you said don't. You put some weird stuff that contradicted itself, and that's why I almost didn't watch Edge of Darkness even, but I did.
Hang on.
So you were very
look. I've got
confusing.
all right, let's see if I'm confused.
There's a
now, if
whole
you
bunch
got
in there from me
confused.
so far, so you're
So
going to have
general
to scroll
chat.
up.
Hang on a second. Let's
Yeah.
have a little look.
Okay, so
Right, okay.
There's a lot of stuff in there from me.
Right,
so
there's
you're
stuff
gonna need
cold
to
chat. Then
scroll
right,
up.
hang on. Okay, could I ask everyone to try to watch the latest Picard, please? It's too good not to chat about, but I don't want to spoil it for you. How do you? And then to you, Brian, how do you fancy picking something to review instead of Edge of Darkness? And that's given me an idea. Lilibet isn't doing Edge of Darkness either, so we'll sort something out. You then replies in. We've got a link to all the Edge episodes. I deliberately haven't shared them all. We're doing it 1 week at a time.
I just wanted to download them all. That was all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that confusing, to be honest.
Was to me.
It is suspenky.
Okay.
I'm easily confused. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't do Picard because I don't get the channel that it's. I don't get the.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
doesn't
the
have
problem I've got here, I'd love to talk about it.
I could talk about it.
Yeah,
We
the
can talk
problem
about
I've got
your
is I don't want to spoil it for them.
Well, it's
I'm
kind of
not-
like
I enjoy. I don't mind spoilers. It's not going to bother me.
Okay.
Spanky,
Thank you. What? Sorry.
do you mind
Do I mind
spoilers
spoilers?
for Picard?
I don't care. If you want to yak about Picard, go ahead.
Only be brief. I wanted to say something about the latest
Okay, go
episode
for it,
because
yeah.
it's pure fan service. In fact, the whole of this series is pure fan service.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm here for that. Oh God, yes. They finally got all the next gen crew back together again. Oddly, not Tasha Yar. Can't imagine why. We've already
Yeah.
seen Wesley turn up in
Last season at
last
the end
season.
of.
Yep.
The Traveler or something now,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
No, the
And-
boss of the Travelers.
Yeah,
He recruits. And
that's right.
this is a great one. They're on Riker's old ship, the Titan. The Captain Shaw, is fucking brilliant. He comes over as such a knob to start off with, and slowly you're seeing different sides to him. He ends up meeting Geordi, and he used to be an engineer.
My favorite line in that entire episode.
Please.
I would love to sit here and geek out with you about holding this ship together with duct tape and bubble gum.
This is after Geordi has just slagged off the state the Titan's in,
Yeah,
and he just turns around and goes, it's been a
it's
weird week.
amazing what you've done.
It's been a weird week, quite frankly. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. It was just all the callbacks, which I loved. There's so many old ships.
Geordi's interpersonal relationship with his daughters.
Geordi isn't very good at interpersonal relationships, to be honest.
No, he's not. And that's the thing, though. His daughters more than make up for it.
Oh, very much so.
One's a pilot and one's an engineer.
Touching that, as far as we know, Data's first word was Geordi.
Well, that's who he saw first.
Yeah.
Well,
However,
and I did see an interview, and the girl who plays his engineer daughter is his real life daughter.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
is lovely.
Cool. Yeah.
she's
That's
over the moon
lovely.
by it.
And he tells her, call your mom, tell her we're going to be a little late for dinner. We got some stuff to take care
Yeah.
But I just
of.
thought,
That's just like total family man Geordi.
after the last two series of Picard weren't exactly hits, especially that first one. The second one had Q in it, which was a lot of fun, but also had a dark side to it because of it. And that's the Q that Nancy preferred to play, the dark version. And this series, it's series 8 of Next Gen, quite frankly. It's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
just, it's like being wrapped in a warm, cozy blanket of not
I
even
love
nostalgia
how
because
Worf
they're still
is
there.
like the butt of the
he's
joke.
he's the comedy character.
He's the comedy right now.
You know, it's a case of
I've
I'm
been in
gonna-
battle
I'm gonna
with
come with
many,
you.
Many former
yeah.
lovers.
former
and let me
lovers.
tell you that
You're
that
not
can
coming.
help a relationship.
Okay, I'm not coming.
I'm not going.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank God.
God.
I was practicing the tweet.
And then it's a case of, I think I should, just as they're dematerializing, I think you should know I now practice the ways of pacifism, causing
We're all
life to go.
going to die.
We're all going to die.
What are we
There's
doing
some
for
great
Doctor Who next week?
interaction.
Anybody remember?
Sorry, I haven't decided yet.
Doctor Who next week? Okay, we need to decide that.
Yes,
Um,
I
yeah.
do.
Callan, Edge of Darkness, into the Shadows.
And they bring back.
No, we don't have to watch Into the Shadows, but you can do if you want to.
I'll watch it now.
They bring back the data.
Data.
Only
You're not
Data.
Pulaski.
one is his name and one is data.
Data and data.
And it's more than just data because it's got lore. It's got B4 in it.
Oh.
And who else?
Everything is in his head.
And
All
who
the different
else?
personalities.
And who else?
Oh, and soon.
And who else?
Oh my.
Soon, lore, B4,
Data.
data.
His daughter?
Lal.
Yeah.
She's
Huh?
in there. Lal is in
Lal.
there as well.
Yeah, Lal's
All
in there.
racked into his positronic brain? What?
They're
Because
all
if you remember,
racked in his
at
brain
the end
and
of
they
The
all
Offspring, he downloaded
Yeah.
her into his.
Yes.
So she,
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
So the neat thing is they're bringing him online. You know, one of the premier androids of the age, and no one thinks maybe I'm going to step back because he might be insane.
They do mention he
You know,
might.
We did
be
put
fair.
a lot
They
of
do
crap
mention
there.
he might be insane, but nobody's like,
No
you
one's
know,
tried to tie him down.
Yeah.
why don't we have restraints on this
Yeah.
just in
Yeah.
case things might happen?
Yeah,
No? Okay.
too funny.
But it's
We're going
lovely.
this
Moriarty turns up, but it makes sense.
Moriarty was fantastic.
It made sense.
Yeah.
It's basically
I was
he's
so happy
part
to
of-
see him.
It's part of the defense systems of a particular station. I'm not going to give that game
They-
away. And
Well,
let me
he
go
came
through
from
this.
Data.
That I was going to get there, Brian. Yeah. So it's
Oh
part
yeah,
of the
when we had
defense
his
thing.
Sherlock episode thing, right? Yeah. Oh man, that was cool.
Go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stop
All right.
enjoying this. That's all I'm saying to you, Brian. Stop enjoying this.
I'm fine. This is my Schadenfreude.
I will just mute him. I will just mute him. Just so you know.
No, you won't.
I will.
No,
Yeah, I
you
will.
won't.
Yeah, I will.
We've been going for 2 hours so far. No, you won't.
Just doing my head in. Right. So,
Welcome to my RPG.
I can't remember what I was saying.
Moriarty.
Yes, so part of the defense system of this space station. But it ties in because also there's a hologrammatic raven. Right? That's a bit odd. And then they get snippets from what seems to be a chamber orchestra or a string quartet playing bits of a tune. And Riker, because Riker is musical, manages to name the notes. You can hear a note and say, oh, that's an F sharp or something. Something I've never been able to do. And
See, Data and I
and he
share a
puts
thing. We
this
can't whistle for
he
shit.
puts the tune together, and his Pop Goes the Weasel. So he whistles the end of Pop Goes the Weasel, which was the bit Data in Encounter at Farpoint couldn't whistle,
Cool.
Yep.
Right.
and that lets Data or whoever's the AI know that at least it's someone friendly.
It's someone friendly, and he gets the message because Riker was already identified
Yeah,
by the AI.
yeah.
So the AI's trying desperately to make contact with all these things and follow the parameters.
We even got Flashpoint.
And Riker finally,
He flashes back to
snapped
fuck
into
you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but when Data can't whistle, Pop Goes the Weasel, isn't that his introduction to
Yes.
Riker?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
that's what they flash back to.
That's
yeah.
the first time they meet.
Meet, right?
At
and he
the
falls in
end
the
of
water?
Nemesis, he couldn't
Yeah.
remember what the tune was Data was whistling. Well, he remembers now. It's
And sadly, we must bid a fond farewell to Riker. He was captured by the shape
naughty
changer.
people. The naughty people. We're not going to say who's behind it, just in case. But
Okay.
the naughty
He was-
people have him.
he
And
was,
they've got Troy.
And they have
How dare
Troy's.
they?
Right?
Just put her in charge. Just put her, make her pilot the ship.
Exactly.
The bad guy's ship.
Well,
It'll
it's
crash.
It's not Troy's fault.
2 ships, 1 Troy.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
Yeah. Who was
is
at the helm
not her
both
fault.
times? Who was at the helm both times?
You want a ship crashed, you let the Betazoid fly.
Deanna
Not her fault.
state
The
the
rules are.
bleeding obvious Troy. Oh God, they're being nuked to hell down there. Captain, I'm feeling great feelings of distress and pain. Really?
Really?
What a surprise.
Listen,
Stupid
I
Beta
am
Zen
quite
Captain,
Captain,
fond
he's
of
lying.
Troy.
You don't think.
I read the hell out of Imzadi when it came,
It's a good book. Peter David Jobs.
it's a
good
great
book. I read Mirror Mirror. I like that one
Yes.
too.
That's a good one, too.
Yes, very much so. I love the fact they've included Cetacean Ops in there.
Yes.
By the way, did you know the music for Pop Goes the Weasel is actually in the closing credit sequence?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you did. Okay.
everything is in the closing credits
Yeah,
sequence.
you gotta
if
study that
look
thing,
carefully
like-
enough. You got the enemy ship, you got the genetics, you got everything. It's all in there, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, there it is. That's
Mm-hmm.
one that should be coming up. Things like that.
Well, I don't.
It has the
I don't know.
transponders.
I don't know. Now I've no idea what surprises they've got in store because I think that's everything from the trailer being seen. I
Maybe.
think. Certainly none. There's no more surprises that we know of.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Who's pulling the strings?
I mean, we didn't know Ro was going to turn up.
We didn't know Ro was going to turn up. We still don't know the main bad guy.
Tasha Yar. She got left out and she's mad.
Might be.
That's entirely-
It might be Sella. It might be Sella.
What I'm thinking of is the Romulan Tasha Yar.
Yeah, Sella.
Okay, her
Tasha's daughter.
and the clone Picard.
Nero.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Nero
maybe
is very
a com-
dead.
Okay, why are they looking for his son then?
They're looking for Picard's son. Yeah.
Why did they take?
And
what
they're
they
also
took from
after
Daystrom?
Picard
Yeah,
himself.
but they took the thing they took from Daystrom.
That's what I'm saying. That's Picard. It's
Yeah.
it's not Nero.
Why would they be taking it?
Okay, but it's got nothing to do with Nero. Believe me.
No, not Nero. The other one. No, Nero's the one on the ship with the
Bald head.
time thing.
No, Nero's the one in the huge Romulan ship from Star Trek Nemesis, who was a clone of Picard.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I'm thinking get the body.
He's dead.
Get Picard's.
So you're saying
genetic-
this actually might be Nero's body rather than Picard's
No,
body?
no, I'm not saying
I mean,
it's
it's labeled
Nero's
as
body.
Picard.
I'm saying it's get the body, fix Nero because he was unstable.
He's dead.
Are you sure?
The ship blew up around him. Data
Did you see a
sacrificed him.
body?
It's never
you-
stopped
you
Star Trek
see
before.
a
Let's
body.
be honest.
Fair enough. All right. No,
If you
I
don't see
will
the
take a
body,
step
if you
back.
don't see the disintegration, they ain't dead.
Okay, I will take a step back and wait and see what happens.
Okay. But that could explain why they're after Jack, who has a brilliant idea and goes with the other kids to implement
There's a
it.
reason this episode is called The Bounty, but we're not going to tell you why it's called The Bounty.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yep.
It shows young Picard. That's
Yeah,
exactly
essentially.
what he would do.
Yes,
That's exactly.
because he was a
Not only that,
trouble.
but lady man Picard,
yes,
because he's making eyes. Hey,
bit unfair on
Stay away
Jack
from my
Crusher
daughter.
to sort of say all this is Picard. He's got his own character as well, you know.
I just love stay away from my daughter.
Yeah. So, can't wait to see what the next episode's going
It's a
to
good episode.
be. We need Doctor Who story for next week. And Lilibet, give me a doctor. Please don't say Pertwee.
No, Pertwee.
Well, I'm quite fond of Tom Baker. I don't know which
Yes.
ones you guys have already done.
It's all right, Brian.
Except Tom
Brian
Baker,
will tell
I
you.
guess we're redoing them all.
Doesn't matter.
Well, sort of.
Um,
Sort
I
of.
I love the first Romana.
Okay.
Have you done all the first stuff?
We've done the key to
Nope,
time.
but
No,
we
no,
can.
we're good.
Okay.
We have done the key to
Fine.
time.
We have done
Yeah.
key to time. They haven't done
Okay.
key to time.
Here we have.
Okay, how do you want to do this then? Do you want to do it as an overview of the entire Key to Time series, or do you want to go through it weekly? One story by each week.
Oh, they're really their own thing.
Yeah, each one is different.
Okay,
Yeah,
in that case,
kinda
next
have to
week's
do 'em
Doctor Who is the Rebus Operation. Series 16.
Okay.
Story
Alrighty.
1. RIBOS.
Gotcha.
It's
I'll
probably the
put it in
third time we've done this on the Flashing Blade. I remember doing it with Joe. I remember doing it with you. And Eddie, possibly. Yeah, so there we go. You're right with that, Brian?
I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
I love the key to time.
Oh, fair enough.
It's a good. I mean, the last one kind of lets it down because I ran out of money. But
Yeah. Mary Tam is excellent in the entire series.
so
Yes.
good. She's
Right?
So good.
Yes, very much so. Oh, we got that to look forward to. That's great. Yeah, I'm pleased about that. I mean, yeah, we've done it before, but I do like the Key to Time. I mean, like I said, I've been swaddling myself in Series 9 at the moment. All that Pertwee goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got my three out of my 4 favourite Pertwee seasons on DVD. Just waiting for season 7. And I'll be happy. But I'm not sure what... Blu-ray. I'm not sure what they're going to do, because there's only 4 stories of season 7. All right, 3 of them are 7-parters.
But
But
we have never
it's going
done
to be a fairly
Logopolis.
thin box set, to be fair.
Something you mentioned about the two fan dinosaurs. We've
yes.
never done Logopolis either.
Have we not?
No. We've never done Logopolis. We've never done City of Death.
Oh, City of Death is. Good.
I mean, I was keeping Image of the Fendal.
We've done Image of the Fendal.
Yes, we have. So what was the one I was keeping for Halloween? It wasn't Robots of Death, was it?
Demons.
No, can't stand the demons. I wouldn't do that deliberately.
I love the demons.
Yeah, can't be helped. Anyway, I don't know what happened there.
Horror of Fang Rock.
It could have
Fang
been
Rock
the
is good
Horror of Fang
Halloween.
Rock. Yes, that's the one I would have kept for Halloween. Yeah, so that's Halloween this year. That's the Horror of Fang Rock.
That's October.
Yeah. So, but
This is April.
I am trying to make up. That's why we did Brain of Morbius this week, to try and do stuff we don't normally do, like Hinchcliffe. Because
Yeah.
I'm not great. I can see why people like it. It's just not for me. I prefer the Graham Williams era. I'm sorry, but I do.
Apology not accepted.
Too bad. We're doing the Rebus operation next week. I'm not going to change it again. It'll
No,
confuse Spanky.
that's fine. I'm just letting you know there are things we haven't done.
It's in the list.
This era.
Okay, this is good. So, not sure if we're even going to have a big finish next week. Like I said, I might dig something out. I don't know.
We got a lot on our plate for next week.
Well, we have. What are
already.
you going to be reviewing next week?
I'm probably going to go with part 2 of something is out there, unless Little Bit wants to do a collab on something.
I'm probably, given what I've got on my plate next week, probably Ribos Operation is all I can manage.
Fair.
No worries.
Fair. So it's going to be the
Because
Me and
I've-
Spanky show then, again next week.
Well, no, we're going to do the Ribos. We're going to.
So you're gonna do the what?
We're going to do the Ribos operation.
Do the ribos.
All 4 of us.
Rebus!
Look at that
It's
stuff in it.
Rebus! Not Ribos! Rebus, you unworthy creature!
I don't care.
Ribos.
You will.
It's ribos, right?
Rebus!
Ribbis.
It's the Ribbit operation.
Ribbis operation. Ribbit.
Keep making that face. We'll get worse.
It's only 4 episodes, right?
2 weeks.
Ribbit.
I
Yes.
The
just
ribbit operation.
need 2 weeks and I
Yeah.
get my revenge.
That's got a bunch of good stuff to it, though.
I get
And
my revenge in a couple of
Remember,
weeks. It's good.
anybody sitting in a wicker chair, always evil.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
Even if they're wearing white.
Moving on! Brian, what are you doing this week? I don't care.
Working. I don't care either.
Okay, fair enough. Elizabeth,
Wait,
what are you doing this week?
Working and then the convention at the weekend.
Brilliant. Spanky, do I care what you are up to this week?
Nah, nobody cares.
All right, then. What are you
I
up to
don't
this
know.
week?
No clue.
What are you doing this week?
Bugger VA.
Oh, VA. Fair enough. I've
He
got...
was right. He's going to the
Yeah.
place where no one cares.
Yeah. Noonan.
Yeah, where no one cares. Yep.
Noonan's coming down on Saturday.
It'll be
Hopefully.
fun.
Well,
you
hopefully.
go.
He couldn't make it last time round.
You're going to have a nice little play date with your friend.
But, well, Sinister and Adam as well, so...
Oh, good. All
Give him a
4
big,
of you are
big
getting
wet kiss from the
together.
rest of us.
Yeah.
Now, don't go running. Remember to hydrate. Do you need money for lunch?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Now remember,
Send it via PayPal,
you
thank
can
you.
give him a big kiss
I'm
from
just
us.
saying. I'm just asking if you need it. I didn't
Oh,
say
yeah,
I was
yeah, I
gonna
need it.
give it.
You can,
Believe me,
you
I
can
need
even
it.
give some tongue, but be discreet. Don't do a lot, just a little, okay? Maybe when you greet the new guy. Go gently. That's all I'm saying.
I've got to tell
Just
him
give him a
about
little bit of kiss and you know,
How
a
do
little
I
bit of
tell him
flirt,
about
slap
this?
and tickle, and then you move on, okay?
this. Actually, I think I'm just going to tell him to watch
Get
it.
that down.
I think that's the only way possible.
My God. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
We wish you would come on the show. 'Cause, you know,
There are reasons,
Great.
though. However, it might be
Reasons.
changing soon, but we'll have to
I
wait.
didn't
and see.
open that door. I just would like
this
it known.
olive-
Right, we're going away. Oh dear.
No,
God.
not away.
Yes, we're going away again. Right, we'll be back. Right, next Friday, 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Should be Two Fan Dinosaurs. Dr. Sinister and I talking over the first 2 episodes of Legopolis for you, along with
We love you,
the
Sinister.
competition to win season 18 on Blu-ray. Next Saturday, bugger all's happening because I'm away. And next Sunday is Flash and Blade, where we'll be looking at the Rebus operation. Possibly a big finish, maybe. I'm not sure. Whatever the hell it was that Brian said he was looking at. Edge of Darkness, Callan, and... we could do Reboot at some stage. That was a
Ooh,
good
I
show.
like that
Oh,
cartoon. That was
I
a
said it, that
great
was a good
cartoon.
Okay.
Reboot?
Yeah. Right, so we're
Okay,
going.
Reboot.
Say
I'll
goodbye,
put that on the
everybody.
list.
Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
Oh, dear God. Why?
I'm impacting them.
Yep.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
These aliens in UFO, they do know that we have a John Levine and we're not afraid to use it, don't you? Goat time. Ta-ra.